This is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here this evening. It's the Oilers. It is the Seattle Kraken. We all know how it ended just a few short days ago for the Oilers. And without Stuart Skinner in net, the Oilers will turn to Calvin Pickard to try and answer back against the Kraken, a second game in a row. A 4-0 final last time, a victory that was well earned and well needed for the Edmonton Oilers, one could say. But now, obviously, after the loss, the shutout to Minnesota, now the Oilers are in desperate need to once again respond here, and a game against the Kraken might be exactly what they're looking for, or at least that is what we are hoping. That's the case as we get started tonight with about 13 and a half minutes to go until puck drop this evening against the Seattle Kraken. I guess we'll probably have about 7-8 minutes of dilly-daddle in there after 7 p.m., but it is just kind of what it is as the Oilers and Kraken renew hostilities this time in Edmonton, and the Oilers at least getting some home cooking going here even despite the loss. It's not that they played terrible against Minnesota. I think a lot of people misconstrued what I was saying. It's just really, when you play good, you got to come up with a result the way the Oilers have been going this year, and they didn't. And I think as well, losing to one Jesper Wallstedt, however you want to say it, Jesper Wallstedt, I don't care. It just really just sucks, okay? That's really all it comes down to. It just really, really friggin' sucks. And there is no making it better for the Oilers because it just, again, Stuart Skinner wins that game. The headlines are way, way better than what happened in that loss. So either which way, it's Calvin Pickard if you're just tuning in. Glad to have you aboard here tonight as we get going on the broadcast. The Oilers are sitting at 11-11-5 on the season. Dead 500. It's been a weird year, kind of similar to what we did last year, so nothing really too crazy, I guess. The Kraken are 11-7-6, 1 point ahead of us in the standings. Of course, a win here really starts pulling the separation a little bit here for the Oilers and Kraken. The Kraken are scoring 2.46 goals per game, but they're only allowing 2.63. The Oilers are almost up at the 350 against, and the Oilers, after a shutout loss against the Minnesota Wild, have clawed down to a 3.0 goals for per game. So the Oilers, like I said, time to get going here at the start of December. They need to get the goals for back above 3.25, 3.3. And then, the goals against down to that 315 range. And we do that, and we'll be winning hockey games left, right, and center. Friends, to the live stream we go as we got OilerFan and Duolingo in there. Tonight, I don't know fully what to expect. I'm expecting just to go through the first period tonight and then finish up after the intermission starts. Again, these live shows during the regular season, they are taxing basically because, end of the day is you still got to wake up and go to work in the morning. And yeah, it's December. It's no heat season, so limited time available, and we make the best of what we got. So yeah, as we go along, Seattle Kraken's starter is looking like Joey Decord this evening. 268 goals against average, 902 save percentage. I think a lot of people this season that are really relatively even-keeled Oilers fans talking about the goaltending upgrade have screamed for Decord to be the upgrade for the Oilers. The issue is the Kraken won't be looking to trade him anytime soon if they keep winning the way they have this year. Again, he's been a big reason for their success, at least at the start of the season with a 2.68 goals against average. Save percentage is at 902, but that's better than both Oilers goalies, so what do you want? Calvin Pickard enters the night with an 847 goal save percentage and a goals against of 4.04, so 2-3-2 record for Picks, so 5 losses in 7 record games. It's been a tough go for him. We'll see if that changes, if that rebounds at all. And of course, hopefully the Oilers, here as we begin a huge month for live streaming on Dolynny TV. Again, friends, I'll encourage you to come back at some point during the Christmas holidays for the World Juniors live streams. Those are always a good time. Looking forward to that. Really making a big stink here on the channel as it usually does. And yeah, that's just kind of, right, like I said, big start to the month here of live streaming. So tonight, the Oilers, the Kraken, and that's where we go with it, as you just got to hope the Oilers can show up in force like they did in the other game against the Kraken. Now expecting that, especially with me live streaming, well, let's not talk about that too much. It would be nice, I think, from an Oilers fan perspective, to see a huge effort out of a guy like, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl tonight, just lighten an opponent up, right? Kraken haven't been giving up a ton of goals, but they certainly haven't been scoring a ton of goals either. So go light them up crazy. They're dying on the penalty kill this season at 69.2%. The Oilers shrunk back down to that 28.8. So tonight you want to bump up power play numbers, shrink down the Kraken, who are struggling on the power play, and special teams on the penalty kill. And just really go out there and dummy a hockey game in your favor. The Oilers are long due for an absolute massive game, right? They've had an 8, they've had a 9 against them. The Oilers, not saying that the Kraken are going to be that team that's going to go out there and give up 9 tonight, but tonight would be a night if you're Connor McDavid, who's a little pissed at himself for not shooting enough in the Minnesota game. Tonight's a night, go out there, shoot, light it up, hat trick kind of deal. I know that's all fancy talk given the way the Oilers have played this year, but I think everybody understands where I'm coming from when I say that. Is, again, the Kraken are good because they're not giving up goals. That's the way to put it, right? It's not the Kraken are great because they're the best team in the NHL or they're better than the Oilers because of X, Y, and Z. No, the Oilers statistically are a better team than the Kraken just based on the fact that, they're scoring more and we have more high-powered offense and more ability to win a hockey game that way. But the Kraken are winning it on the back of goaltending and scratching and clawing. And when you have a team doing that, the Oilers are a team that are capable of taking advantage of that and blowing it apart once in a while. And the Oilers are also a team that are, this year, capable of being blown apart and taken advantage of for exactly that. So from an Oilers fan perspective tonight, I think you got to say, let's just, Dallas, Colorado, the Seattle Kraken, and just make a stink of a really good hockey game here tonight by going out and really scoring some big goals, some big points tonight against the Seattle Kraken, and hopefully showing up in force with an effort that leaves us all like talking about, holy crap, did you see that goal? Did you see that game? Did you? And I mean, to some extent, the 4-0 victory against Seattle was that, but the way we've lost this year, if we go out there and find a way to go and blow this one up 9-1, 9-2, 9-3 against the Kraken, let's go. It'll be a very good time for an Edmonton Oilers fan base tomorrow. So that's really all there is as we ramble on here on the pregame show. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's Pickard versus likely Decord for the Seattle Kraken. The Oilers just got to get the offense going here, keep the power play clipping, and hopefully blow apart a terrible penalty kill from the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken are the next team to leapfrog in the standings for the Oilers, and they could do that with a victory here tonight in regulation. So keep that in mind. If the Oilers can really go out there and do the job, we would be good to go. That would be very welcome. I think that'd be much welcome. John, welcome into the live stream as well as we get the chat rolling little by little here tonight. It's going to be a game. Like I said, I'm only planning on live streaming to the end of the first period simply because it's busy season at work, and I would really like to get some rest before a big Friday where I'm sure things are going to get pretty nasty with the weather and stuff tomorrow. So definitely be interesting to see where we are at the end of one period. It would be really, really nice, like I'm saying, to be up huge, be up massive from an Edmonton Oilers fan perspective. But if that happens, I don't know. Friends, as well, I guess right now I'm talking to about 14, 15 of you at a time right now. If you haven't left a like on the stream already, make sure to do that as we get excited for tonight's Oilers game. I know I'm a little monotone, but I think I always try to play that at least early on in the live streams, just that way I'm not too high, not too low, and hopefully, the roller coaster that is the Oilers early in hockey games doesn't blow me apart too much. And I'm a pretty monotone guy, actually, so it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, I think if I'm going to make any stink about my pregame show, for those of you that watch the channel regularly and have been watching the last few weeks, you would know that Nugent Hopkins jersey hanging up behind me hasn't been there this whole time, and now it exists. Well, there you have it. I just, over the past, basically since Fan Day there, we placed that on order with Ice District Authentics. It finally showed up, got it brought to me the other week, took it out of the car tonight, and there you have it. It's on the wall this evening as the Oilers, in their, alternates, take on the Seattle Kraken. As Stanley, welcome in as well, as we're getting closer and closer to puck drop here. We are about 5 minutes away from the broadcast flipping, and then all of a sudden, as we go along here tonight, things will get going in the positive direction for the Oilers, hopefully, as the as the night goes on. That's really like, I mean, I wish I could have better expectations for the Oilers, but you've kind of seen how this season's gone. You've seen how things have progressed. Game in, game out, consistency, none to be found. I mean, win streaks, little to none, and just explosive play from the Oilers, not really there at all. So tonight, like I'm saying, against a team that's winning because they're stopping pucks as opposed to scoring goals, well, let's hopefully have ourselves a night. That would be absolutely unreal if we could, but that, of course, comes with the caveat that we have to do that, and the Oilers doing that has been a hard problem for them all season long. So as Ward on the pregame edition here on the channel. I know we've only been live for what, about 10 minutes at this point, so nothing too crazy, I guess, right now. If you want to get your predictions in, I'll throw up the pregame poll that carries through the first period on most live streams, and we'll get that going here tonight on the channel. Let's get this going. Sorry, I'm rusty at this. Haven't done this a whole bunch. You got to remember that. This is only the second Oilers live stream of the regular season. As, yeah, that's where we're rolling tonight, is Oilers, Kraken. All right, there we go. Start poll. Good to go. And we are off and running. So, yeah, the issue for the Oilers here, Stanley, I think just overall, and again, I hate to come back to this because it's such a lame duck excuse that Mattias Ekholm just threw out there and nobody really made bones of it, is Mattias Janmark basically went out there and said, look, or Mattias Ekholm, sorry, came out there and said, look, it's not good for us at this point, just because we are tired. We're like mentally exhausted from playing so much hockey over the last 2 years. And for some of the Oilers, it's the last 3 years, right? You go back to the series against Vegas, you go back to the series against LA before that. The Oilers have played the second most playoff games in the NHL in that period. And I get it's a really easy excuse to make for the Oilers, and Mattias Ekholm looking for answers and maybe grasping at straws a little bit there, but it is true. I mean, the Oilers just might not have the mental edge that they need to play their game. And I mean, hockey's mental, right? It's a game of mistakes, so that makes sense. But I think it's a lame duck excuse, because if you're, going through it, all you have to do is try harder. And somebody commented on the channel here recently, it's like, well, they haven't gotten a heck of a ton of practice time because of obviously, being on the road so much. And it really just comes down to what are you doing to maximize your time, really, right? Like, I mean, if you only get a few hours at work because you have an appointment, your boss expects you to, maximize your time, not just take your time like if you had an 8-hour day to do it. So that's kind of where I don't like hearing the Oilers make excuses for what might not be the greatest results. And the tough part is, for the Oilers, the results aren't terrible. I know we're bottom 7 in the NHL, but you look at the standings to climb up into the top 16 across the league, and the way the Eastern Conference is going versus the Western Conference, it's a whole other different conversation there. There's like 5 teams in the West that have less than 12 wins, and there's only 1 team in the East that has less than 12 wins. But I mean, you look at it for the Oilers, who are sitting at 27 points, you go out there and win 4 of the next 5, you get 8 points up to 35. You're somewhere in the mushy middle of 15 to 19 solidly after that 4 to 5 stretch. So yeah, it's kind of where we're at, right? It's kind of just, yeah, it's not like, it's hard because what you're watching doesn't match up to what the Oilers are doing standings-wise, if that makes sense. We've flipped over on the broadcast now. We're about to get Gene on the TV here, but it just, if you're looking at the Oilers in the standings and you're not scrolling over far enough to look at the goals for versus goals against, you'd be like, the Oilers are just having a regular November, December, or regular start to the season the last 3 years. And that's fair. That's fine. If you want to say that, that is completely okay. The issue is, especially for me, who's been working a ton of weird hours and stuff, is you have to, keep in touch with the Oilers as much as possible, but you also have to focus on work. And every time I focus on the Oilers, they're losing 9-1, 8-3, getting shut out by the Wild. Versus, the Seattle game, I have a moment to catch up with friends and family, and it's like, hey, the Oilers are doing something here. But again, a 4-0 win against Seattle means nothing when you go lose 1-0 the next game. And that's where we're at, right? Is the Oilers are up and down on a wave of not losing too many, not winning enough to really generate a positive feeling around this team. I think, if I'm saying that, it's not a good feeling, because the Oilers are just so inconsistent, and that's what it might come down to, right? It's maybe I'm not buying into the excuse or anything. It's just you're struggling because of the inconsistency that this team's showing, despite the results. Literally, you're, like I'm saying, 5 games away from being back in the conversation of everything. So I don't know how you want to word that a lot better than me. Not any better, a lot better than me, but it's kind of where we're at. We're 2 points out of a wild card spot, and we're 12th in the West, as Gene puts it. So it's frustrating, I think, is the easiest way to shove it down everybody's throat here on the live stream. The West wild card race, right? The Mammoths have 29 points. The Sharks have 29. The Kraken have 28, and we have 27. You go out there and quickly win a couple of hockey games, done and dusted. We're back in the standings just like that. So I think that's exactly what Gene Principe is saying as well. The Oilers in the alternates, same with the Kraken here tonight. The Oilers had to find some teams willing to wear some different colored uniforms than normal, bring the different uniforms on the road. And here's the thing, Willie, I wouldn't even say it's mediocrity. It's just the Oilers in October, November. This is par for the course. It's not even that we're mediocre. It's just you're expecting too much if you're expecting more. But we're getting so little that even though the results are where they should be, we still want more, if that makes sense. And I guess maybe, the play's been mediocre, but the results have been on par. I really struggle with trying to connect this one to this one, because they're disconnected yet equally responsible for both sides, if that makes sense. And this is where, again, if you've watched the channel over the past 3 weeks, me trying to figure all this out while also maintain my efforts to try and upload here on the channel. I think November kind of fell apart a little bit because I was working such long hours, but right, I had 13 uploads in November, and I've already got, or 13 videos, and I've already got 4 uploads this month in 3 or 4 days. So we're off to a much better start, but it's just shake your head territory with this team, because you look at how they play against certain teams, it's like there's no way they are where they are, and then they actually are where they are, and it's just it's so frustrating to try to make a consistent argument about this team night in, night out. So that said, from my vantage point, we'll move on. We'll get to the national anthems here tonight. It's the Oilers, it's the Kraken, but first we have the Molson Cup presentation, and I feel like Sportsnet is starting to get back to this. I feel like for a few years they got away from it there, and now all of a sudden we're starting to get back to having it as part of the broadcast every single night, which is nice when it happens at the start of a month. So that's awesome, but I'm just hoping for a big time victory here tonight. That's all I'm saying. Matthew Getterall is on that Molson Cup, by the way. Just saying. As it looks like Jack Roslovic is going to get the Player of the Month for the Edmonton Oilers, the 3 stars champion for the Oilers the month of November. Of course, we'd love to have Jack Roslovic in the lineup. Don't kid yourself there. I know, right? We're missing Noah Philp. We're missing Kasperi Kapanen. We're missing Jack Roslovic. I think the injuries are probably the easiest excuse to make for the Oilers. Oh, by the way, Jake Wallman's still out, I think. But nobody wants to make that excuse because, again, same thing as that we've played too much playoff hockey. It's a lame duck excuse. At the end of the day, it goes nowhere in terms of delivering results for a team that just simply needs results. So here we go. We've got the anthems right now, friends. I'm going to give you the update on the back end of the stream here on how the pregame played out, really. And here we go. We got Rob Clark singing the anthem. Hell yeah, we do. Good to see him out there here tonight for the boys as we get things rolling on now. The official two-anthem broadcast. Again, I love Rob Clark, but it's bane of my existence is a two-anthem game. So we've got the Star Spangled Banner first, and then we've got O Canada here in a few moments' time. Glad to have you aboard here on the live stream, friends. Glad to be back live streaming this evening. Just simply, hanging out and getting it done. Like I said, November was a hell of a month at work, and we got through it. We got the job done. Everything went according to plan. We were able to get the write-offs we needed done, and now we can sit back and relax a little bit here as we get into December. That said, December is going to be a busy month. It's heating season out there, and we'll see how everybody's furnaces and hot water tanks hold up, but hey, I'm looking forward to not being at work at 8 o'clock at night. As we carry on the broadcast here tonight, friends, the national anthems right now rocking and going here for us as we continue on what should be a pretty fun game for the Edmonton Oilers if they can score goals. That's what it comes down to. Go score goals, win a hockey game. Lower Cal Pickard's goals against average. Getting them below 4 would be a real nice add tonight. But for the Oilers, of course, we'll see how it all plays out. And we'll see if I even know the names to numbers on the broadcast tonight. That's, like I said, it's been hairy territory this year, live streaming to begin with. And keeping up with the Oilers at the same rate because of November and everything that happened there. It's been tough, but hey, we're doing it. Obviously, I don't know, for those of you here in southern Alberta, might just be me, but trying to stream 880 Ched over the AM radio, I get a station out of Nebraska. Seriously. Not even kidding you. Huskers Radio Networks on my 880 feed every night when I drive home, as opposed to 880 Ched up there in Edmonton 3 hours away. I don't get it. Whatever. It is what it is. Kimo Gavin, good evening to you guys as we get things going here tonight. Cal Pickard in net for the Edmonton Oilers. It is Joey Decord in net, I believe, for the Seattle Kraken. The Seattle Kraken in the dark alternate glow-in-the-dark jerseys. The Oilers in the alternates right up there behind me in the Nugent Hopkins, the new addition to the set. As we get things going, Rob Clark, to a massive ovation, sings us in to tonight's matchup, the Seattle Kraken, the Edmonton Oilers. Welcome aboard, Oilers friends, and of course, crackheads yourselves. As we get things going towards puck drop here, Cal Pickard starts for the Oilers, 2-3-2 record, 404 goals against average, 847 save percentage. Magically, I've seen Junior B goalies on last place teams with better numbers than that. It's happened. Joey Decord starts in net for the Seattle Kraken, 754, 268, 902 in net for those Seattle Kraken. Nugent Hopkins on the television set right now, 18 points, 18 games. If it weren't for the injuries this year to Nugent Hopkins, I can tell you he'd be a 100-point player this season, and I guarantee you we'll see a 100-point Nugent Hopkins once or twice more before the end of his career, even though he's a different player than he was just a few short seasons ago. Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Hyman at the face-off dot. Let's get this going. McDavid wins it on a pushback to Bouchard. The Oilers will chip it along the boards. The Kraken cut it off at their own blue line, get it back there. Matthias Ekholm inside his own zone. Bouchard pitch and catch up into the neutral zone for Nuge, who will poke a check it ahead. Oilers offside at the blue line. Nugent Hopkins tries the safe play, turns it over to Beniers, and it'll be picked up by Bouchard in front of Pickard in his own end. Now moving ahead, the pass from McDavid starts ahead for the Oilers. Hyman trying to feed it down to McDavid. Nice play there by McDavid and Hyman to play pitch and catch, and now Nugent Hopkins able to move it in behind the net, back to the blue line for Bouchard, back to Nugent Hopkins near wing. High point now, Ekholm over to the far side. Can't get the one-time option for Bouchard, who has it eat him up, and the Kraken clear the zone rather quickly as Ekholm, still out there on the shift, patrolling his own blue line, finds the passing option over to the far side boards inside the Oilers' territory, bounced off the wall, turned over in the feet of Regula. The Kraken get their first chance on net. It goes wide by a wide mile, and then a puck bouncing in front costs Vasily Podkolzin positioning, and allows the Kraken to rim it around to the near side boards inside the Oilers zone. That puck just all kinds of lost. Kraken blue liner on the far side by the Oilers bench with the puck, fired it down into that far side corner. Kraken able to just tie it up along the far side wall, and eventually Draisaitl has it hop over his stick and an Oilers player, that being Matt Savoy, with the nice little poke there to get that job done, to get it out of the zone, and Emerson will be forced to retreat into his own territory, with Regula aiding him there as Savoy fires a shot rather quickly on that pass up from Emerson all the way into the glove of Joey Decord for the first shot of the hockey game and the first save for the Seattle Kraken. It's been an interesting hockey game so far, as the Oilers they're seeing some highlights here, and obviously the blocks and stuff that were leading to making sure Stuart Skinner was able to win a hockey game, as hopefully things kind of work that same way. Block a bunch of shots tonight, score a bunch of goals. That's what we're hoping for. Let's get this going. Face off to the left of Decord, inside near side boards of the Kraken zone. Kraken are able to win it, float it out to center ice. Henrique floats it down to his own blue line, and then the Kraken regain possession inside their own territory on the soft clear by the Oilers as they rim it up into the Oilers zone along the far side boards. Hard hit on Emerson. He's able to clear to his own blue line for Janmark. That'll be a battle there. Janmark takes possession near side corner, Oilers side, as this will be picked up now and just jutted ahead by the Oilers into the neutral zone. Kraken quickly back on it. Puck comes into that near side corner once again, and Kulak sees it go over him. Henrique, with a little bit of time and space, hits the tape of Janmark, flipped up on him. He'll rotate back to Emerson. And the Oilers really don't have much cooking on this starting shift of the hockey game for the fourth line, as Lazar out there now, as this will be picked up by the Kraken on the rim there from the Oilers, and a little bit of action to the far side wing for the Kraken inside Oilers territory. Blast from the blue line. Whew, what a rocket there, and a denial on old friend Adam Larson by Stuart Skinner. 17:27 to go in this first period of play. Cal Pickard, he's had a rough go of it, but his last start against the Tampa Bay Lightning on November 20th, 33 saves in the overtime loss, and hey, you know what? Hey, he well earned that one. I think he's had a relief appearance since then. But of course, that's the problem when you're getting blown apart 8-0. Well, 8, whatever the heck it was at the point. The Oilers were getting beat up by the Stars. Frederick in on the forecheck here. Clattenburg looking to maybe run around a little bit against the Seattle Kraken. They got some fiery customers on this team. This will be picked up by Ekholm inside his own zone. Battle to the near side boards as Clattenburg's coming racing away with the puck. Maybe a mini 2-on-1. Clattenburg is going to shoot. Block shot off the stick of Larson, and the Oilers just can't keep the zone in time. Regula enters. New line on the ice. Here's McDavid trying to shoot, and it's tipped off his stick rather niftily by the Seattle Kraken defense, or else that was a good-looking opportunity there for Connor McDavid as he walked down that right side. Nurse along the end wall. McCann inside the Oilers zone. McDavid able to win the battle, get it over to Regula. Regula will look up ice. He finds a pass and now trying to home run it to Hyman was Nugent Hopkins. Decord comes out to play it. He's got it along the near side wall for the Kraken as they just chip and charge into the Oilers' end. A little bit of back and forth and nothing really being settled here in a 1-1 shot game. Puck comes in front. Oh my goodness, what a stick save there by Cal Pickard to deny the Seattle Kraken on a bouncing puck. And then a shot directed towards the net. Bounces off a Pickard. Little controlled zone time here following the chaos for the Kraken. The shot from the blue line off the blocker of Pickard, and 16 minutes to go here in this first period of play. As Kraken gather back at the far side corner inside the Oilers zone. Emerson cuts it off. McDavid pivots right back to Emerson. Regula will look for a pass to the far side blue line, and now loading up through the middle. Here's McDavid, 2-on-1, but for the Kraken, the shot fired by McDavid. Selective, maybe a little less tonight. Fires the shot on Decord for the second shot of the game for the Edmonton Oilers. And it's a 3-2 shot advantage for the Kraken following that little break of chaos inside the Oilers' territory. Is a nice play there by Pickard to just deny them right there. And that one just a scramble in front of that puck bouncing right through the crease as we get it going here for what should be a face-off to the right of Joey Decord with 15:45 to go in the first period of play. That'll summon Draisaitl and his line mates Podkolzin and Savoy, that second line, which again, Matt Savoy, when all of a sudden he gets hot, my goodness, are we going to be talking about a conversation then? Here's Draisaitl off the face-off when Bouchard on the bounce. The shot off the pad, Savoy gathers, and here now a pass over to Bouchard again, looking for it, looking to try and get it through. It'll be tipped up off a stick of a Kraken. Coming back the other way, Berkeley Catton. the pass to the middle of the ice. Last time we talked about Berkeley Catton, he was playing for Team Canada here. Podkolzin with the puck inside his own zone as the Kraken had pushed deep inside Oilers territory, but to no avail for a shot on net or anything even remotely towards the net. Back behind the net, Alexiak inside Kraken territory over to Evans. Gets it along the near side boards. It'll be floated inside Oilers territory. Nurse gathers back, reverses over near side for Ekholm. The Oilers have used a ton of different line pairings on the defense just because of extended shifts so far to begin this hockey game. Ekholm cuts it off at the blue line. Now Nurse gathering here, looking for an opportunity to pass this puck forward. Knobloch not afraid to switch things up and just give some guys some line time. Here's Mangiapane on a pass from Janmark. What an unreal shot on goal. And he scores just right dead center from the slot. And it's 14:38 to go in this first period of play. And Mangiapane just absolutely dialed that one home on the wrist shot right in front of Joey Decord. And what a weird play that was. It bounced off of Mangiapane. Janmark left it for him and then just bang, just absolutely ripped it glove side. Henrique thought the puck had not gone in, but Mangiapane, that's why we got him. He can absolutely rip him. Think that was in. It was not over the line. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it was. It went crossbar, far corner. The NHL might review this one. But, yeah, Puck and Whale, welcome in. We're going to have to review this one. That was a heck of a rip from Mangiapane and a wicked bounce off the crossbar nonetheless once it came out of the net area. But Henrique was pretty convinced that puck was still live, and we will have it under review with 14:38 to go. Just to set you up, Nurse drifted it up the middle of the ice trying to hit Mangiapane. Deflects off him, goes over to Janmark. Janmark basically just leaves it for the on-waiting, on-rushing Mangiapane, who walks down Main Street and just rips this thing home. As really, yeah, man, that is a tough, weird bounce. So they got to slow this right down. As that puck, I mean, it kind of wavers right over the line, but there is probably 0.0% chance that's in the net. No goal on the play. We're going to reset the clock. Have a face-off inside the Seattle zone. One would at least figure. And Mangiapane cannot believe he was robbed. As you look at this puck, it never fully crosses the line. Just skirts the goal line the whole way by the net. And, yeah, that's where we find ourselves here with 14:38. We'll have a... are we just going to go straight for it? I guess because they ruled it a goal, right? They're not going to write it off anytime, yeah. All right, game on. 14:38, face-off to the left of Joey Decord here. Frederick Gaudreau in the face-off dot for the Seattle Kraken. Talk about defensive forwards. Here we go. Face-off one back by the Kraken. They're going to go up the right wing inside the Oilers' territory. It's turned back right at the blue line there. Puck is bouncing all around. Here's Mangiapane trying to reload the exact same chance he just had. He's going to fall down. Kraken will take it on with a 2-on-2 coming back the other way. Content to dump it into the far side corner, try and beat the Oilers defense low. Doesn't work out. Emerson gets taken into the boards here near side Oilers territory. It's battled by the Kraken. They win the battle, and now here's Vince Dunn over. Now the shot loading, bouncing through the crease again. Kraken have tumbled pucks through the crease. The Oilers have fired a puck off the crossbar, and that's really all you need to know about the start of this game thus far. 13:56 to go in this first period of play as the Kraken and Oilers tied it to 0s apiece, and that puck will bounce off the boards. The Oilers have iced it. 13:49 to go in a 3-2 shot advantage for the Edmonton Oilers. So they corrected that puck that went through the crease. It looked like it went off Pickard, but I think it just straight up the angle it drifted out of the corner from. It looked like it might have hit the goalie to take that bounce. I think it might have hit Nurse in front instead. And Mangiapane will take over again, still continuing his shift here. As this line, hey, you know, they have a little something cooking here on this shift, so why not? But of course, it's an icing call, so they'll extend for a little while longer as they got to keep it going for at least one more face-off. The Oilers able to win it back. Emerson looking to float it out to center ice. It's quickly gloved down by the Seattle Kraken. What a play. I think that's Beniers there just picking it off the clearing attempt. He got erased along the boards. The Oilers with a little bit of a hit there. Oh my goodness, wake me up, talk about it. The Oilers throwing the body? Wow, who knew? as this one's going to go to the far side as the Kraken still trying to work off the boards. Now near side, they're still on the outside perimeter, and a pass miscombobulated at the blue line, and that'll allow the Kraken a little bit of time to reset the attack while the Oilers engage a line change rather slowly despite the Kraken pressing towards their own zone. Here's the Kraken on the far side. The shot fired by Seattle. It goes again in a drift off a body, and hey, maybe a little reminiscent of what the Seattle Kraken saw from the Edmonton Oilers in that 4-0 loss the last time out. Here comes Nugent Hopkins trying to load up McDavid across the line. That's somehow onside. Bouchard, the clap bomb from the blue line, 96 miles an hour, or close enough too. And he just couldn't hit the net. Here's Nugent Hopkins with a steal, trying to pocket this one to McDavid. The shot, that one, my friends, is a goal for the Edmonton Oilers. And just like that, after a try earlier at 16:49, 12:43, 4 minutes later, or 15:49, whatever, 14:39, the Oilers have the goal. And it's 1-0 on a shot from no one else would have guessed this except me, Connor McDavid, as he takes home a pass from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins in a prime shooting position and absolutely snipes it top shelf on Joey Decord. There you have it. McDavid said he was going to shoot more tonight. Well, he shot more tonight. That's just it. Maybe a little bit of a ride-up deflection off of Brandon Montour. Looked like that puck just kept rising. I know that's typically how a shot top shelf works, but looks like it might have taken a little bit of a bounce. 12:43 to go. Nugent Hopkins will pick up an assist. I think that might be the only assist, although it looks like Lane Lambert and Jessica Campbell on the bench there for the Seattle Kraken are talking about challenging this, and there will be a coach's challenge on the play. So there you go. Timeout. Seattle Kraken, as we'll see what we do here as they try to take the coach's challenge on to see if McDavid and crew were offside. Again, like I said, I thought that play might have been a little broken at the blue line when they initially entered. Like I said, I'm not sure how that's not, but we'll see what it comes out to here for the Oilers as Nugent Hopkins. Ooh, yeah, that's onside. I don't know how, unless we're talking about Nugent Hopkins here near side. He's dragging. Oh, he's offside. Nugent Hopkins, the primary assist. He's offside at the line to start the play, and the Seattle Kraken will win this challenge almost undoubtedly here. Again, they don't challenge offside unless they 100% know they got a case, and I think they got a pretty evident case here, but never mind, it's going to be a goal. That's what I love about reviews in the NHL, baby. You can never tell. Okay, again, also listening without commentary. Who knows? I guess they ruled it onside. Maybe if Louie and Jack saw something different, my TV eye is not so great. Here's Draisaitl over to Podkolzin. One-timer from Draisaitl's office. Scores. The Edmonton Oilers take a 2-0 lead. 12:26 into the game, and Draisaitl gives Podkolzin a big old tap there saying, that's why I score from there. It's an easy spot. Made it look easy, at least. Podkolzin did, hammering that one home. Great zone entry here from the Oilers. Great battles against the wall, and ultimately just winning those battles tonight is what's going to contribute to the success. And just squeaking across the line through Decord as Draisaitl outmaneuvered the Seattle defense. And what a shot there from Podkolzin to put enough mustard on it to squeak through the pads of Decord, who thought he had it well covered, but that's the problem. He had it well covered, and that's why it went in the net, if you can believe that one. Welcome to it. That's how it goes. At the NHL level, sometimes the best goaltending ends up still costing a goal. 12:26 to go, and all of a sudden the Oilers say, hey, let's juice up here. Let's get the fourth line out, running and scrambling and hitting everything in sight as here comes Connor Clattenburg and Trent Frederick. But immediately off the end wall, the puck bounces to none other than Joey Decord. He'll cover up, and we'll have a stoppage and play with 12:17. So the Oilers, hot and ready here to start the hockey game. I figured tonight was a game we could score some goals. And at least the Oilers seem to be doing that here tonight against the Seattle Kraken. So let's go here and see where we're standing as we go back to Leon Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard with the assists on the Vasily Podkolzin marker. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the assist on Connor McDavid's goal. 19 points, 19 games. Again, he would be a 100-point scorer had he not been injured this season, as he'll probably still push 80 points as the Oilers inside their own zone trying to get out. Can't get it. Here's a shot floated towards the net. Picard, he catches it, and that's really about all he did to freeze that puck. It was not comfortable, but the Oilers Hey, what do you say? We're up 2-0. I like it. We are 2/9 of the way to 9-4. So, and as long as we can find a few more goals tonight, at least get to 5, we'll start turning the tide like we really truly should be this season against the NHL competition we've played, right? I mean, the Oilers are not incapable of scoring goals, but again, when Connor McDavid scores lots of goals, so do the Oilers. We know that. That's math. That works. And we'll see if it keeps working here for the Oilers. Friends, up to 16 hours spent on the live stream. Thank you so much for being aboard here tonight. Everybody hanging out in the chat. Appreciate you. Obviously, the Oilers, right? There wasn't much happening at the start. Mangiapane hits the crossbar and the flood starts. So that's where we go. 2-0. If you're just tuning in, McDavid and Veshili Podkolzin. Draisaitl with a gorgeous assist there, and Evan Bouchard, obviously, Evan Bouchard picking up a point as well. So the Oilers desperately getting some production from the big boys and also some finish from a name that doesn't necessarily always find the score sheet. I mean, Podkolzin's 5th goal of the season. He's going to have, easily probably 15 this year. But again, when you've got a second-line winger, you'd expect more. But it's what Podkolzin does for Draisaitl versus what Podkolzin does in the stat sheet that is uber important to this Edmonton Oilers team. So Seattle Kraken obviously trying to get things going here as well. They've had some pucks bouncing around in the Oilers crease, but unable to find it in front of Pikash at home. And Calvin Pickard, so far, 3 shots, 3 saves. Nice to see. 5 shots, 2 goals for the Edmonton Oilers thus far tonight. At least they've thrown the body a few times in these first few minutes tonight. 9 hits in the hockey game so far. Bottom 6 scoring slumps for the Oilers. 41 games for Janmark, 19 for Henrique, 13 for Mangiapane, 10 for Lazar, and 24 for Frederick. So we do, at some point, got to get things going. Mangiapane thought he had broke that slump. No bueno. Janmark also would have had a point. That would have been nice. But McDavid comes up, says, let's get you up. And then Veshili Podkolzin on just what was a perfect concrete play by the Oilers to get into the zone and get going. Just really lit up a 2-0 lead right quick. Mangiapane, trust me, again, I don't give betting advice, but I think you kind of get where the sentiment behind that statement goes, saying Mangiapane and then say I don't give betting advice. All right, Nugent-Hopkins, face-off down. 1 back by the Oilers, around to the far side for Nurse. He will get it through the middle. It's going to bounce to McDavid. McDavid, is he going to pass? Is he going to shoot? He's going to instead spin a rama and try and find Zach Hyman for a tapper in front. That didn't work out. 11:50 to go here in this first period of play. Regula off the end wall. He'll battle there, and it's picked up by the Kraken as he ran into the official, did Regula, as it'll come near side for Seattle. Regula this time engages and wins, and Hyman trying to push this one ahead to McDavid, loses it, and Regula trying to get his legs going, kind of a little bit tired from the battles, it looked like, just couldn't quite get into second gear there. Here come the Oilers regardless the other way. They're going to challenge to the outside. McDavid pivots back, button hook there to the blue line. Here's Ekholm, the slap shot on net, blocked in front, pass right in front. Oh my goodness, Hyman got 2 cracks at that and still couldn't jam it home. Here's Bouchard cutting off the clearing attempt over to Ekholm, top point. Now far side boards for McDavid. Pass to the middle again, trying to get Hyman going. Couldn't do it. Nugent-Hopkins back to Bouchard, looking to load up the shot. Nugent's got a little bit of a one-timer position going here from the Draisaitl angle as Bouchard sneaks down the right wing. Pass over to McDavid. The shot denied by Decord, and pinching again is Ekholm as the Oilers have their super line, again, top line, minus the nuclear option out there on the ice right now as they float it around, and now the second line will take over on a nifty dump here from the Oilers. Draisaitl trying to get there. Bouchard keeps it alive. Draisaitl with the puck now. He's going to pass it over. Here's another opportunity for Podkolzin. He misses it by a country mile on the one-timer from the Draisaitl spot. Pass over far side to Savoy. He knocks it down off the glass after it was tipped away from him. Here's Draisaitl near side boards inside the Kraken zone, extending to about a minute inside Kraken territory now. Bouchard, high point. He'll pass it over to Draisaitl. The shot on net, blocked there by the goaltender Decord. Battle for the puck. I think the Oilers may be guilty of a tripping there, but there will be no hand up on the play. To the outside boards, to the far side blue line, and out of the zone by the Seattle Kraken. Here's Draisaitl to the middle of the ice. Here's Savoy off his stick. tapered away there by a Seattle Kraken stick, kind of minimizing the shot on goal. To pass by Draisaitl, a chance here by the Oilers. Puck deflects over top of the net. It is all kinds of chaos. The Kraken are being absolutely run around their own zone here by the Oilers, and they are going to be guilty likely of a puck that tipped through the neutral zone enough not to be icing. 9:30 to go here in the first period. 8 shots for the Oilers, 2 goals, nothing for the Kraken, only 3 on net so far. Kulak trying to win the battle. He can't do it. The Kraken spin away with the puck on the far side boards. Oilers territory, picked and pocketed by Mr. Andrew Mangiapane. Away is Adam Henrique trying to skate to open ice. He just doesn't have the gusto to get there, but maybe a safe play to the blue line. Nope, doesn't allow the Oilers to get going. And here comes Darnell Nurse with the puck inside his own zone on the clearing attempt by the Seattle Kraken. This one will be across the Kraken blue line. Turned back, Oilers still in possession. Here's Nurse again. Same spot he was just a brief moment ago. Regula up the near side boards. It'll be tipped into the stands. No to play. 8:50 to go in the first period of play. 2-0 for the Oilers over top of the Seattle Kraken. Draisaitl, I mean, what an absolute find on that Savoy chance. Just a great stick by Brandon Montour to hold him, impede the shot a little bit there. Or maybe Savoy might have been able to sneak it under the glove. Who knows? Possible chance there denied by the pad and an extra stick from Brandon Montour. We're on commercial break here, friends. Brian, welcome back aboard. Glad to see you in the chat. It's been a hot minute since I've gotten a live stream going, especially in this kind of shape. I think that Carolina Hurricane stream just, you knew what was coming, and I dodged disaster by getting out of there quick. But the Oilers up 2-0 here and doing a fine job being in control of this hockey game, especially continuing the attack on net on the last little sequence there where they hemmed the Seattle Kraken inside the zone. Again, if you're just tuning in, friends, 8-3 the shots on goal. The Oilers lead 2-0 here against the Seattle Kraken. And what I need to tell you is it's McDavid and Podkolzin with the goals. So Vasily Podkolzin up to 5-0, or 5 goals on the season. That makes sense. I would love to see it up to 5-0 on Vasily Podkolzin's second goal of the night, maybe a third one. I don't know. Draisaitl 11, Bouchard and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with 3 assists in the hockey game so far. Again, anything you can get out of anybody not named McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, or Bouchard is always great. Podkolzin being exactly that. I know he's a second-line winger, but it's more so, as I said a moment ago, what he does for Draisaitl versus what he does in the stat sheet that matters to Oilers management, and the line placement from Mr. Chris Knobloch, our head coach. Daniel, yeah, it's nice to kind of be slowing down a little bit at work. As far as I'm planning, I'm only going to just the very end of this first period, but kind of buzzing a little bit. I like where the Oilers are at. Looks like they're engaged in the hockey game tonight, and we'll say if they can get a third goal here in this first period, we'll do the second period. How about that? See what it gets going. We'll see how it pans out. Here's Curtis Lazar in the face-off dot for the Oilers outside the Kraken blue line. Frederick and Clattenburg, my boy Clattenburg, man, oh man, that guy is going to be a fan favorite for years here in Edmonton. And I tell you, he's barely scratching the surface of his NHL potential, and he just jolts a man with a big hit and throws the puck out of play. Do we have a penalty on the play as Clattenburg closed quick? Looked like any more of a turn there from the Kraken player and any more finish from Clattenburg, he was going to run him right through the glass, but it looks like the puck off glass, so we'll have a stoppage in play for a brief moment. The referees are going to converge, maybe. Do we have a penalty upcoming? I don't think so here, as this one is going to be lifted. Ooh, I think that's out of play. I think Clattenburg just forced a penalty against the Seattle Kraken here. Evans will go to the box. That replay showed it. Clean and out of glass, and that is exactly what I was talking about. Clattenburg, he's a beauty, friends. He is an absolute beauty, and I would have been the first one to tell you I didn't expect to see him in the NHL this soon. The Oilers, the injury issues, and obviously as well the lack of energy necessitated the need to have Clattenburg come up, especially while riding hot in the minors. So here we go, power play for the Oilers, 8:40 to go in the first period. 2 minutes to try and score the third goal of the hockey game. Yes, let's go. Is 69.2% on the penalty kill for the Kraken. Here's Bouchard. High point over to Nugent-Hopkins, drifting down low. The shot! Oh my goodness. Thing of beauty. You know what it was? I don't even need to tell you. Wide open by a mile net for Draisaitl. It's 3-0 for the Oilers. Just 7 seconds into the power play. What an absolute rocket. I mean, the Oilers executed exactly the power play that they always do right there. Just a drift at the blue line by Bouchard over to Nugent Hopkins. Down to McDavid. Feed it across the crease to Draisaitl far side. One-timer back of the net. Yeah, when I say it's a sight of beauty, you know what we're talking about, or at least you have a heavy 90% guess on what it was. The C and the A connect for the goal as Nugent Hopkins picks up his second point of the night. And like I said, now more than a point per game player. He's going to have 80 points this year. Doesn't matter how many games Mr. Ryan Nugent Hopkins plays. 8:33 to go in this first period to play. This one feeling like it has the potential to be something special. I told you I was monotone in the pregame just because I didn't want to get my hopes up too much. But the Oilers, well, they're going and doing it now. 16th goal of the season for Mr. Draisaitl. 26 assists for Nugent Hopkins, or McDavid, and 14 for Nugent Hopkins. What an absolute play there from the Oilers. Draisaitl giving a little bit of peace of mind to Frederick, saying, here, this is what I saw, this is what you want to do. Get there, get going, and score a goal, bud. As Clattenburg, yeah, absolutely forces the power play by crushing hard into Riker Evans with the puck, trying to clear it and forcing it over the glass. So here we go, 8:20 to go in this first period to play. 10-3 the shots on goal for the Oilers. Again, the Kraken are struggling offensively. They're getting goaltending and defense all season so far to be just a point ahead of the Oilers in the standings at current. The Oilers, they have 48 minutes to ride home this 3-0 lead and expand on it and try and take home 2 points here tonight. Oilers rushing back the other way. Here's McDavid over to Hyman. Now loading up Bouchard, trying to drift it to Nugent Hopkins. Just couldn't quite sauce it on the backhand enough. Ekholm inside his own zone, off the glass, picked up by Nugent Hopkins, who will look content to just pivot back to his own blue line, try and reset the rush for the wide. Off the boards, tipped along. The Oilers will go for a line change. Now the second line of, well, whoever's going to be out there, I guess maybe Draisaitl will take the shift, given the fact that the power play scored so quick. Kulak on the ice trying to win that one in the far side corner. It bounces around a few times. Oilers capable of doing it here. Here comes Savoy across the line. Podkolzin looking at the blue line to keep that one in. The Kraken do it themselves instead. And here now at center ice, they'll fire it in, bounce it off of Pickard, who's just kind of not necessarily fought the puck, but just hasn't had the easiest pucks to handle here tonight. Kulak in behind his own net. He'll fire around in the near side boards. Oilers zone picked up now by Savoy. A tip pass to Draisaitl off the boards to get across the line. Here's Podkolzin. He'll get into the zone deep. He'll backhand off the end wall over to Draisaitl, who's been out there a while. Nurse drifts a shot towards the blue line. Not really much he could have done with that. Safe bounce off of the Kraken, and Regula will turn back, button hook at the blue line, and just safely set up the rush here for the Oilers. After the line changes, he'll once again have it inside his own zone. Will Regula over to the far side for Nurse. Nurse near sideboard pass to Janmark. Janmark trying to find Henrique instead, like it did earlier. Bounces to Mangiapane just outside the blue line, and he fired it in. The Kraken off the play by Decord off the end wall. Get out to center. The Oilers have been disciplined so far, and we have a penalty now. A weak tripping call. I don't really think that was much of a hack to the legs, but Kraken player went down to both knees, and it'll be what it'll be for the Oilers. Is here they come back the other way. The guys in the dark sea jerseys, that being the Seattle Kraken, as it'll be into the bench and out to play. 5:53 to go. Andrew Mangiapane heads to the penalty box for the Oilers, who are up 3-0 following a power play goal by the one, the only Leon Draisaitl. So it wasn't a whack to the legs. It was a stick between the front and back skate of Matty Beniers. We call from an Oilers perspective, because why are you doing that to take that call up 3-0? But for the refs, obviously, it's kind of the way it goes. So I'm not going to complain too much. It's just from an Oilers thing, a little bit of a head scratcher to get into that. Really, there wasn't a heated battle there. There was nothing dangerous the Kraken were doing, but hey, we'll take it. We'll be okay. And now the Oilers penalty kill, which was really good against the Seattle Kraken last game, because their penalty or power play also really sucks. Things could look okay here for this one. So yeah, let's see where we're at here. As we are at, let's go here. Perfect. We're rolling along here tonight on tonight's stream, friends. Thank you for being aboard. This is, it's just kind of where we're at right now. Pickard really hasn't faced shots. He has, 4, maybe 3 still? 3 against him. If you're just tuning in here on the live stream, friends, we're on commercial break. It's Connor McDavid, Vasily Podkolzin, and Leon Draisaitl on the power play for the Oilers. Nugent Hopkins has 2 assists. Draisaitl 2 points in the hockey game. And Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid, well, they've got helpers as well. So McDavid also 2 points. I don't know. I chose to write that weird, but you get where we're going here. As the Oilers have definitely had the better of the Kraken, at least to start tonight's hockey game. Big part is you gotta finish this period up 3-0 at minimum, if not 4. And I think I have this discussion all the time with one of my friends. She's a ringette coach in Airdrie, and she's always like, I just don't know what it is. I've watched hockey, I've watched ringette, I've watched everything. 3-0 lead, there is just something stupidly mental about it. And it is truly one of the stupidest proven things is a 3-0 lead is so stupidly dangerous. And of course, there's 2 ways to go about it. You either dig in and get that 4th goal, or you start giving up goals. And that's where the Oilers have to figure it out here and get the job done on this penalty kill. Maybe a shorty, Adam Henry, get off the schneid, Matthias Janmark, I don't know. Just saying, but it would be really nice to see. The Oilers penalty kill ranked 15th in the NHL, the Seattle Kraken power play at 22nd or whatever that number was. So here's the Kraken across the blue line now, picked up by McCann. He'll drift it towards the net off a bounce. There are a couple of Kraken sticks whacked away at it. I don't even know who number 9 is for the Seattle Kraken. Chandler Stevenson, thank you. As it'll be back to the blue line now for the Kraken. Here's the point shot, Loden turned aside by Pickard. Hey, there's a save. There's a save. And here now Vince Dunn loads it back up for the Kraken attack off the top corner blue line there inside the Oilers zone. Back to the blue line for Dunn. He's looking, surveying over to the far side. 5:07. 45 seconds gone off the power play. Back down near side. Kraken still on the perimeter here so far following the save from Pickard. Eberle plays it back to the point. Now back across to Dunn. Rotation in place here. McCann over to Eberle, and he's denied by an outstretched Calvin Pickard down and out in the crease, and the Oilers will get the clear with 50 seconds to go. The only issue is it is exactly onto the tape of Joey Decord, who will load in behind his own net, leave it there as it'll be picked up by Brandon Montour, and the second unit for the Seattle Kraken takes to the ice. They're up the ice in a hurry, trying to get across the blue line. 3 wide pass, looking to the middle. Cut there by a good, Oilers coverage on the back check on that rush. As this one shot off a block in front. That's what the Oilers did, as they were saying on the pregame, so effectively against the Kraken in the game earlier this month. Is this one? Earlier this week or whatever it was. The shot fired, turned aside by Mr. Calvin Pickard. I don't even know what day of the week it is, so just bear with me. As this one's going to be coming back, Berkeley Catton has it turned back. This picked up by the Kraken. Looking back to the blue line, the shot fired off of the ankle of Podkolzin, and that is a tough break. The Oilers do absolutely everything right on that penalty kill, but Podkolzin blows a tire, blocks the shot, and it goes to the on-waiting skate. I mean, if you're Pickard, you're watching this, it's a broken stick shot off the skate of Podkolzin, and I mean, if you're watching at home, just watch it. Just deflects off of Podkolzin. You would have figured the block would have been more powerful, and I think that's what maybe Pickard was banking on, is that shot from the blue line was going to be whistling in. Instead, it trickles off of Podkolzin's stick, and a quick shot from Jared McCann makes it 3-1, and there you go. Just saying. 3:53 to go here in this first period, and the Oilers will desperately now have to try and get things going. There's a stoppage for some reason. The timekeeper's box is open as they try to decide something here between the booth and the on-ice officials. The referee over to check things out, discussing things with the timekeeper's booth. It looks like we got the all clear, so we should be good to get back to hockey. 3:53 go in the first period of play. 9-7 the shots on goal. 3-1 the game now for the Oilers, as the top big boys will have to get out there. Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, on the ice? Oh, just kidding. It's Draisaitl. Why not? Coming out of a penalty kill. Let's be serious. Here's Hyman trying to push towards the net. He can't get there. It's actually Tolvanen that scored the goal. Pardon me. This puck's going to be fired towards the net by Draisaitl, instead picketed by McDavid in the corner. Here's Regula leaving it for McDavid. Interesting to not go to Bouchard and Ekholm out of the penalty kill here. Don't know if they were on the ice on the penalty kill. As Nurse fires that shot, Hyman drifts it around the world and somehow misses the back of the net on the sweep in front. Hyman then desperately trying to chase it down as Decord was sweeping it from behind the net. 3:05 to go here. 3-1 the lead for the Oilers. 9 shots on goal for the Oilers. The shot save, 8th shot of the game for the Kraken. 7th save of the game for one Calvin Pickard, who, again, even with that, is improving his save percentage. Even with what he's done so far, he's improving his goals against average. It's not much, but it's a lot to ask here for the Oilers, so it seems, at least at the start of this season, to get consistently good enough goaltending. But at least Pickard threw 8 shots, kind of maybe the false positives that Skinner often gives us. But we only got 3 minutes to escape a period. Here's back to the blue line off the face-off win. The Kraken inside the Oilers zone, battling towards the front of the net. There's another puck, and the Kraken kind of using the old playbook there from Cochran in the RMA squads there in the pack the Pete Purple. Just drifted in front of the net from out behind and see what happens. I mean, magnificent play by Savoy to have the wherewithal to know the slot was completely empty and fire a puck up to the slot, hoping there was a D-man there to pump the pill home. That didn't work out. The Oilers were forced back into their own zone. A dump attempt there instead by the Oilers. Savoy couldn't chase it down. Kraken drift out to center off a blade at their blue line. Here's Nugent Hopkins picking up now with Mr. Ty Amberson with the puck. Right wing shot up the boards. Mangiapane, far side inside the Kraken territory after the puck bounced around the end wall. Back now, Decord again out to play this puck. He's a little bit active tonight. I don't know if that's the playbook on him. I feel like I know that for sure, but I don't, so I won't speak it into existence. Minute 58 to go here in this first period of play. Kraken roll it back behind the net. They're going to bounce it off the wall, back to the blue line here. Turning and diving and dancing was Henrique and a couple of other Oilers players. Here's Kulak over to the near by Amberson. Battling along the wall. Taken in was Janmark. Then followed in was, of course, Mangiapane. And Henrique arrives on scene as 6-7 players pile up there. And, well, Regula gets it going. And, well, we'll tap it into the Kraken zone. Minute 26 to go as Kraken, dangerous little play through the blue paint. D to D. They'll bounce off boards right in front of the Oilers bench and get around a defender. Jam in front there again from behind the net by the Kraken. Leads to nothing though. Regula able to defend against the end wall, and now the Kraken pile up in the boards and win the battle for a moment. The Oilers though snapped it onto their stick, snapped it out to center ice, and the Kraken across the blue line win a battle against Draisaitl. Drifted again front of the net. Puck doesn't arrive on scene, and the Oilers able to spring Savoy right on goal. Denied by Decord. That just had the feeling that you knew it was not going in. That was tight. I mean, Matt Savoy away and alone all the way from the blue line, but the Oilers don't have a good history in my watch test of watching that of ever finishing those plays, and unfortunately for Savoy, he's denied point blank, and then the Oilers in on net. A lazy turnover by Draisaitl, just discombobulated about 10 feet out, and Frederic Gaudreau. I said it about the 3-goal lead. It's now 3-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. Gaudreau finishes in front, dances Picard out of his jock, basically. And there you have it. We got 27 seconds to go in what's a 3-2 game now. Oh, man. Whoo-wee. Yep, you best be betting yourself. And again, like that Matt Savoy, there's a reason I didn't get too excited. I know how those play. And Draisaitl just, God, man, lazy, sure, but I don't think he ever really knew where that puck was. He just kind of bobbled it on the pass from Savoy, got caught flat-footed, tried to spin away, and Ekholm was going the other way as well. I mean, make whatever excuse you want. It ends up in the back of the net, and the goalie might want to make a save sometime. It's the first goal of the season for Freddie Gaudreau and the Seattle Kraken, the offense that's been sputtering all year, enough to be a point ahead of the Oilers in the Pacific, however, as this one's battling off the end wall now. The Oilers were up 3-0 to begin this first period, and now find themselves only up a goal with 10 seconds to go in the first period of play. Off the end wall, McDavid's going to pick it up along the boards and fired in front by the Kraken. The shot by Eberle squeaks through Pickard, and it bounces in front again, and a blistering flurry of action in front of the net ends up just dying right in front of Pickard in the blue paint as the buzzer goes to end the first period of play, friends. The Edmonton Oilers, in my experience, will Oiler at the best of times, and this first period was the best of times. Emerson saving a goal there as Beniers was about to sniff it across the line in the blue paint, but Emerson able to snap it off there and just can't. Oh my goodness, the bounces in front of Pickard tonight have not been pleasant, and the Oilers just really have not been able to survive much of being up 3-0. So now it's 3-2. And it is what it is, friends. I'll be right back. I'm just going to head upstairs. If you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. Love to have you aboard as a regular viewer on the channel. It's been a great live stream so far. Look forward to continuing it. Despite, it now being 3-2, it was 3-0. But I said if the Oilers got it up to 3-0 before the end of the period, we'd do the second. We'll do the second. We'll be back in a moment here on Dolynny TV. Alright, well friends, welcome back to Dolynny TV. If you're new to the channel, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button. Appreciate you hanging out tonight. It's been a great little live stream here this evening. As, yeah, it's obviously, it was a great stream there for a while. We were up 3-0, rolling against the Kraken again, and life was looking good. And then Pickard just gets picked apart on 2 goals, and the Oilers' defense in front of him not so great. And we find ourselves in a situation where we wish we had better, but again, that's the situation that is being up 3-0. I might have cursed it a little bit, but it is what it is. Emmy, Chang, and Robert, welcome aboard. Glad to have everybody along for the ride here tonight. Yeah, we'll see everybody that's heading out for the intermission. Appreciate you guys being aboard for the ride. If you haven't left a like yet on the stream, make sure to do that. Would love to have you do that actually as we go to the goal scoring summary for the Oilers. Following what was this first period of play. There's 5 goals in that period, by the way. We know the Oilers, they're good for about 6.5 goals a game based on what they're giving up and scoring. Connor McDavid, Vasily Podkolzin, Leon Draisaitl opened the scoring. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, multi-point nights. Evan Bouchard also with an assist in that period. Eli Tolvanen, his 4th of the season. Again, the Kraken, they're not scoring a bunch of goals. And Frederick Gaudreau, good enough to score the goal there for the Kraken to make it 3-2. Brutal play in front. I really wouldn't even call it a bad turnover. I just like everything about that play from Savoy, putting it in the feet of Draisaitl to Ekholm. There is not a good thing to be said there about what happened to allow Frederick Gaudreau to score his 1st of the season. Okay, that's how I would put it. As we continue on, though, it's been a very good game from the Oilers. Otherwise, they have done enough to go out there and obviously win a hockey game based on first period results. Now, thing is, like I said, you got to walk it home. You got to get the 2 points. You got to leapfrog the Kraken. You got to do it in regulation. It's all great in theory. You got to get going at the end of the day, and that's what the Oilers have truly, really struggled with at a lot of times this season. So stay tuned, see what happens here. But again, you win this one by 5 goals. Well, that's going to help the cause substantially, and I'd love to see it out of our Edmonton Oilers tonight. So we roll on, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out on the live stream. I know I've said that a lot. Again, this is only the 2nd one of the year in the regular season, and we're up over 40 hours watched, so appreciate the heck out of that. Again, it's been a weird go since the end of the 24 playoffs when it comes to live streaming. Last year was just I really don't know how to describe what happened. I think there was a lot going on, and I just didn't handle it very well. And we got through it. We're here now, and starting to get back going into what is going to be a big month of live streaming here on Dolynny TV. Again, I talk about this because we're going to be live streaming the World Juniors as we usually do here on the channel every Christmas. Looking forward to having you aboard for a part of it. I would love to have you for a majority of it, but that I know is asking people to take holiday time away from their families, and I don't want to do that. But it is a situation where if we can, pile up some moments there during the World Juniors, it really just pole vaults to what will be a huge year of 2026. Looking forward to the World Juniors, Canada winning gold, the Olympics, and then hopefully the Oilers winning the Stanley Cup. You kind of get where I'm going? It all maths out. So it is where it is right now. So as the Oilers just for right now immediately have to get through this hockey game and win a hockey game to just keep my sanity on board. I'll say that much. Like I opened up the anthem part about it. Just again, this team is not in dire straits. Really, like there are a lot of red flags when it comes to this team. I know that's a popular term nowadays. You get it. But no, really, for the Oilers, there are a lot of red flags, and they're still doing what they're doing. They're, 500. They are exactly where they are every single year this time of year. There's nothing crazy about it over the last 3 years. It's just the inconsistency of which they have displayed is the concern. They're really good when they're on, but they're not on a ton, and they're not really good a ton. So you're just fighting this push-pull, bad, good. They're scoring enough goals to win and giving up a ton of goals when they lose. That's kind of the case there for the Oilers, and you just, again, inconsistency and trying to figure it out, right? The consistency has been mediocre for the Oilers. The results have been as expected. I tried to explain this earlier, and I'm still struggling to explain it now. So it is where we're at right now. We'll see how it goes the rest of the way home this evening. For the Oilers, a big victory tonight would be absolutely awesome. Very much welcome. And hopefully it is what it is. So, yeah. Let's see here. We're loving this jersey matchup from the NHL. Yep, that's great. I don't think there's anything else we really need to pay attention to. The Nashville Predators continue to climb out of the basement. 2-1 victory over top of the Florida Panthers. Matt's voice stopped on a clear breakaway, which could have restored the Oilers' 3-goal lead. Instead, the Kraken capitalized on a turnover and cut it to a 1-goal lead. That's Derek Van Diest there getting us updated, and I think there's really nothing you missed from that first period of play that's really going to cost you if you don't know. So, for the Oilers, Draisaitl on the power play, Podkolzin from the Draisaitl spot, and Connor McDavid decided to shoot a puck. Go figure. That's your goal scoring in that first period of play. And yeah, it's just kind of what we need to do a little bit more of, is just play that little bit more direct, rely on what works, but don't make it predictable, if that makes sense, right? Like, if you're going to go for what works, you have to drive quick, if that makes sense. You have to like go after it right away, like the Oilers did on that power play, right? If you're going to go for the backdoor tippity tap one-timer by Draisaitl, you're not going to do that 2 minutes into the power play when it's expiring. You got to do that like they did 7 seconds in. And more often than not, the faster the Oilers get a shot on net, the faster the Oilers set up a play, the faster the Oilers get the attack going, the more likely a result is to come. So that's just maybe a little bit of simple analysis for you on what really led to a beautiful goal for the Oilers very quickly on a power play that put us up 3-0. Now the problem is, again, I know I took some heat from the chat, and I appreciate you guys keeping me honest, but the 3-goal lead, specifically in hockey, but pretty much in all sports that, you know, there's single points to be scored only, it just seems to be one of the most all-time dangerous leads. Like any 3-goal lead, just you have to get that fourth one. 3 goals, again, I think it forces the team that's down to recognize, okay, this one, we have to get going right now or this one's gone. And of course, as the team that's up 3-0, if you don't get that fourth one, you keep them hanging around, and eventually 1 goal, and that's all the momentum needs to shift. And that's kind of what happened in this one. I mean, the Oilers were lucky at the end of the first period, given that circumstance in front of Pickard, to have gotten out of the period not tied. So at least for right now, we'll see if the Oilers can keep it going into this second period and find that 4th goal, find that 5th goal, find that 6th goal, find that 7th goal. I want 8 tonight. I think I've been clear about wanting a ton of goal scoring, but they just actually have to mount up and get the job done. That is the pivotal point here for the Oilers tonight, is you gotta score the goals and get the results. So just looking at kind of where we're sitting going into this hour, friends here on the channel, appreciate you being aboard. It's been a heck of a live stream so far. Really liking being back for this one. Only the second Dolynny TV regular season broadcast for the Oilers this season. I think it's really just been a weird past year and a half here broadcasting hockey. I didn't do anything during the playoffs, hardly. I think that was by design. I really, after the emotional heartbreak of 2024, I really wanted to invest and get back to why I watch hockey, right? Hang out with my friends, make memories, sit on the couch, live and die by every breath, say all the words I can't say on live stream to the TV as loud as I possibly can when something goes bad, cheer, jump to the roof when something goes right. And now we're looking forward to seeing what happens here for the Oilers going into this regular season's, you know, kind of next phase of the calendar, which is 2026, as we push towards the playoffs. That's kind of what we're hoping for, right? It's just that magic, and that's where I'm really looking forward to seeing if we can once again get towards, you know, the playoffs, getting some live streams in and doing some crazy things come playoff time. I've already gotten the yes from my man Matt that did the color commentary following the LA Kings broadcast there in the first round of 24. He came aboard for the Vancouver Canucks broadcast, and we went all the way through the rest of the playoffs pretty much, and up until I went and skipped a couple of games and went up to Edmonton to the Moss Pit. But looking forward to seeing, obviously, the Oilers go out there and do this job here, as yeah, we got a lot of hockey left, right? We're not to the 30-game mark yet, but we're getting dang close. We're now at the 27, so tonight's 28, and then we got 2 more. Well, guess what? Then it's December 9th, and the Oilers have to start making decisions, or at least that's what Pierre LeBrun said they're looking to do. So, again, thanks for being aboard, friends. Really do appreciate you hanging out here on the broadcast tonight, and it's, like I said, it's been a world of wind the past year and a half, but we're here now, and we'll do it. So, just looking here, see where we're sitting again, trying to keep track. Just it's something that I normally do, trying to keep track of the back end numbers on the live streams as we go along, just to make sure I don't miss a pivotal moment of the stream where it gets going. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I mean, we're just in the intermission waiting for the hockey game to get back on. We're rolling along here on the broadcast tonight, and yeah, that's where we're at. And Chang, I'm not sure what you mean by Team Canada. Are you talking the Olympics, or are you talking Team Canada for the World Juniors? Because I'll tell you, for the World Juniors, they got Zane Parekh, who's been limited again in action with Calgary Flames because of the situation with the Flames. But I think he's going to be a real nice dynamite add for the Team Canada squad tonight or this year. And I think as well, when you look at it from an Oilers perspective, there will be some opportunity to watch Asher Barnett when it comes to the squad on Team USA. Give me just a sec. Got a tickle in my nose here. Oh. All right, let's do this. No time to waste. We got one more commercial break before we lead back in to what will be a second period of play where the Oilers are up 3-2 over the Kraken, as I think we're discussing in the chat here about the goaltending situation for the Edmonton Oilers. I think what it comes down to for the Oilers is, I talked about this in the pregame, really, if you had your pick of how you would do it in terms of upgrading the goaltending, I think you've been hoping all year that the Seattle Kraken would just miraculously fall off this whole defensive train they've done to be where they are at this point, and the Oilers just scoop in there and get Joey Decord and give the Kraken some goaltending prospects or whatever, and all of a sudden the Kraken are right happy about that, and they're great to let Decord go. The issue is Decord is a massive reason why the Kraken are winning hockey games, so they're not amped to let him go when they're above 500 to start the year. So given that, I think, you're looking at Binnington. The Oilers are scouting the St. Louis Blues again tonight. I think Tristan Jarry's an option. The Oilers' preference isn't to side grade, but at some point you have to do something, and they will be forced to do something at some point, whether we like it or not. And I think when it comes to it as well, in a fashion where, who else is really out there? I know there's Akira Schmid's been mentioned. I think, Nico Dawes continues to be an interesting go for the Oilers if he's available. And all in the while, and I will tell you, there might be a bigger shoe to drop before any of this happens, simply because the Vancouver Canucks are melting down at the seams, or so it seems, and they're trying to figure out their goaltending with, Buddy Boo there, Thatcher Demko always being injured, for them as well, trying to figure out who they're letting go. And it just, from everything I'm hearing about the Vancouver Canucks day in, day out, it just seems like Quinn Hughes is going to force a situation here on the Canucks where they have to trade him at some point. And I think, I would tell you, call me crazy, but the Oilers should absolutely be in on those discussions, even if it's on the very periphery. But I think there's something to be said there for however irrelevant the Oilers are in the Quinn Hughes discussion. The Quinn Hughes trade, if it does happen, is the major chip to fall before the Oilers really start making major chips fall. And I think what we saw that last year with Rantanen to some degree. So keep that in mind. We'll see what happens. Could be interesting. Hopefully the Oilers are active in the market. Again, I'm all for keeping Stuart Skinner if it means we're getting somebody better. Now the issue is that means getting rid of Pickard. Some people don't like that, and I don't care. And Connor Ingram, by the way, friends, not an answer. Not whatsoever an answer. He will not be ready, and I believe the Oilers' full intention is to have him available in case of injury in 2026. So just bear with me. We've started the second period. The Oilers off the face-off. We're going east to west here now on the television screens, right to left if you'd rather, as this one will be picked up at the blue line by Bouchard, drifted across to Ekholm. Ekholm down low, Nugent Hopkins tips it along there. Kraken in their own zone will get it going up the ice in a hurry, trying to push across to Ekholm, well defended, shot fired in front, can't get it going, and the Kraken just roll it around in behind. Ekholm throws a hit along the end wall. Hyman defends the point. Kraken fire a shot towards the net, and it's blocked by their own man. And here comes McDavid loading up Nugent Hopkins. Tip pass onto McDavid's skate. Here now, Hyman, the shot loads, and Decord the easy save as he gets his first shot of the period. 42 seconds into the second period. So just like that, we've already bled that much clock off. That's crazy to think about. As the Oilers, well, they're looking to get things going in a hurry. As that nice little tip play there by Nugent Hopkins to load up McDavid, get a pass across to Hyman down the wing, and a shot on net. That's a good recovery after a little bit of a scramble to start the second period inside the Oilers zone. Face off, Draisaitl wins it back. Regula over to Nurse. Nurse will fire it back down low. So kind of after the sketchy line changes stopped for the Oilers have gone back to the consistent D pairs, at least to start, end the first and start the second. Here's Draisaitl skating around Nurse. He'll get it back down low for Regula. Bounces to the high point, and here's Savoy having to defend the rush as Draisaitl pushes it deep into the Oilers' territory for Nurse. Near side, Podkolzin loads up Regula. Regula lumbers up the middle of the ice. He's across into the Seattle zone. Pivot there along the near side wall. Battle in behind the net. Regula's got some offensive senses for a guy that I just feel doesn't score a ton of points. As Nurse will go over to the far side, blue line inside the Oilers' territory. Then fire a pass right up the middle. And my goodness, Podkolzin button hooked and got dummied. As the Kraken skate back the other way, in behind the net. Nice little play there by the Kraken to skate around the world here. Pass missed at the blue line, goes all the way to Decord inside the Kraken zone. He's going to sift her right up the gut onto Pickard. Decord gets a shot on goal. Seriously, mark it down. As this one's a pass now for the Kraken after knocking down an Oilers player. Nice save recovery from Pickard. And then all of a sudden, Nurse with a big block shot, and this back to the blue line. Kraken running around the Oilers zone, setting the attack up. Drifted off the end wall. Gaudreau fires it as Pickard's bundled up against the near side post. Kraken snapping it around, is still inside the Oilers zone to the near side boards. Man loses an edge, and the Oilers are going to be victimized for that. Was that a penalty on Clattenburg? Cross-check maybe? Clattenburg can't believe it. That's the danger of those plays against the board. I get that's why we're calling the penalty, but that was fast, that was furious, and really just kind of lost an edge, it looked like. As I guess Clattenburg, a little bit of a push on the back of the hips there. I get that. Like I said, that's why we do call that penalty, because it is dangerous. And Clattenburg, even though it's not much, it's enough. And go sit down for cross-checking. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into this second period of play. As the Oilers and Kraken, well, now a penalty or power play opportunity for the Kraken. And they converted last time out, so 1 for 1, 3 shots. That's when the momentum really started to swing. And the Oilers are going to clear the zone. And how about this? Another breakaway for Matt Savoy in on net. Backhand! Shelf job goal for the Oilers. Matt Savoy, he's not going to mistake it twice. Shame on you. Fool me once. Yeah, there we go. Whatever that's supposed to say. 17:32 to go. 4-2. The Oilers lead the Kraken. Matt Savoy, like I said, if he starts riding hot, and he's been right place, right time a couple times this game, if he starts riding hot, he was cheating hard outside the Oilers blue line on that face-off, and just shelves it backhand on Joey Decord. Got Decord going with the fake, and then down and spread, and couldn't quite kick it out with the back pad. So the Oilers, well, they're up 4-2 and getting that next one after being up 3-0. I know you're only up 4-2 now, but it's huge. 9 seconds into the Kraken power play. The Oilers get it going. So here we go. Face-off is won by the Oilers. Fired down when Decord played it sketchily. That allows the Kraken somehow to escape the zone. 4th goal this season for Matt Savoy. This one played back to the blue line, and it's cut off there by Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard's 20th assist, his 2nd of the game, and Henrique, by the way, picks up his 6th assist of the game. Yes, indeedy, we like to see that, as this will be picked up by the Kraken inside their own zone, lifted ahead, and now across the line to Shane Wright. This is minute 17 to go here on the power play. Regula just erased a guy along the line wall. Puck into the far side corner for the Kraken. Looking to the middle, tipped through, can't get going. Berkeley Catton on the puck. He's going to be battled off the puck over to the far side, though he was able to drift to the blue line. Tip in front, goes up over top of Pickard's net. And the Oilers, they will roll it all the way down to Decord. 50 seconds to go here in the power play. The Kraken have the shot lead in this game. So, yeah, Pickard's not been great, but he's been good enough. And that's all that matters, is the Oilers are going to take another call here, tripping the call. and they'll be shorthanded twice over, 2 men down for 37 seconds, and then another minute 23 shorthanded as Henrique, who got the assist on the shorthanded tally by Savoy, will go to the box to join Clattenburg. As again, another lazy tripping call here by the Oilers. That's 2 of them in this game. The stick discipline is just unreal here from the Oilers, as that will be a stoppage for the Oilers to take a moment to breathe as Connor Clattenburg a few seconds away from coming out of the box. Be interesting to see if he has to skate right to the bench here, or if the Oilers will demand him come penalty kill a little bit, and maybe a little bit of a test for him here early in his NHL career. 16-17 to go. The Oilers up 2 over the Kraken in the second period. The face-off for Nugent Hopkins against the Kraken offense. The Kraken will win it back. Seattle to the near side blue line for Montour. Back now, Jordan Eberle looking for options. He's going to try and back down Pickard and then roof it. And a tippity-tap pass blocked by Bouchard. You love to see it. There you have it. Nice little play backdoor for the Kraken, and Bouchard able to disrupt. Vince Dunn. Now high slot. He's going to go over for the one-time option. Denied by Pickard. So the Kraken get their 14th shot in the man advantage twice over. Killed by the Edmonton Oilers. 5 seconds remains. The Kraken can't do any damage here before the power play expires from Clattenburg. And now with a minute 22, the Oilers almost had the home run pass to Mr. Clatty, as we got 15-13 to go, and the Oilers will pass instead. Clattenburg's got Janmark in stride. Janmark down, shot fired. He's drawn a penalty, and the Kraken will go, and it's a slashing call on Janmark from Montour. So with 15:25 to go, 4-on-4 for the next minute 08, and the referees, all of a sudden, the whistles, they are blowing here in fury in this period. As what a shot off the skate of Bouchard. Right time, right place, and then the cross check on Janmark. Well, not cross check, it's just slash. I really don't see it. I guess just kind of impeded him to the outside and kind of slashed the stick. Maybe, I don't know. Montour's just looking in disbelief. It is what it is. Joe and Tim. Hey, Tim, my old friend. Glad to see you in the chat here tonight. 1:08 to go. 4-on-4 for the Oilers for the next little bit. Should see what happens here, as we have crossed the 1,000 view threshold here on the live stream. So thanks for spending your time aboard here live tonight, friends. Of course, as Tim would tell you, definitely make sure to hit that like button as Kulak at the blue line. He'll get it over as the Oilers set up the 4-on-4. Podkolzin drifts out to center ice. Emberson near side now to Savoy. Savoy, the latest goal scorer for the Oilers, in a 4-2 lead. The pass there from Podkolzin. It evaporates from Savoy after a couple of bounces off the board, off the ice, over his stick, whatever you want to say. As Emmer tied over now for Savoy, he's got Kulak joining him. Kulak just pivoted at the blue line there to stay on side and actually became a readily available option for Matt Savoy, as the Oilers tried to keep that play inside the zone. Just nobody home on the near side blue line. Kraken back inside the Oilers territory. 25 seconds to go. Riker Evans down near side boards. He'll go back to the blue line. The shot fired, save made by Pickard with 18 seconds of 4-on-4 time left in tonight's hockey game. Savoy, he's going to be a guy who probably wears the letter one day for the Oilers if he sticks around long term. I'll put a little bit of money on that. That's Pickard making a big save. Again, that was a good looking shot from Lindgren. Swallowed up, and you need Pickard to be making those saves at this juncture of the game. I'll tell you that much. 18 seconds to go. Savoy looks like he's dealing with a little bit of discomfort maybe in the left shoulder. Draisaitl on the ice alongside McDavid. 4-on-4 for the next 17 seconds. Kraken, though, won the face-off. Danger City here. Pickard, second straight save. Second straight stoppage. 12 seconds to go, as we're going to see the play here on Regula, as he ended up catching Catton flush with a little bit of the hip, running him over, and then Regula got a stick up high and kind of just rolled himself. He looks fine, but Catton maybe not. Regula's a big boy if you don't know anything. So, 12 seconds to go. McDavid in the face-off dot against Beniers, who's wearing an A nowadays for the Kraken, probably has been for a long while. How about a third straight stoppage? Another glove save for Mr. Cal Pickard. And 16, now 17 shots on goal for the Seattle Kraken, who are starting to pull away from the Oilers a little by little as the power plays have mounted up. The penalties have mounted up even more severely for both teams here in this second period. Here's now the face-off for McDavid. He's going to try and just guide it to the corner. Couldn't do it. The shot fired. Bouchard's able to knock it down. 4 seconds to go. Power play upcoming for the Oilers here as Henrique will come out of the box and quickly skate to the bench, I'm sure. He's on his way. Oilers just trying to control to get Nugent-Hopkins. That'll actually be Hyman that comes onto the ice here. So the Oilers went 4 skaters deep. Here's McDavid into the corner, near side, elected not to shoot. He's going to try it again. Pass to the middle for Nugent-Hopkins. The shot from Draisaitl didn't quite have the same execution there on the first one. The pass across to Draisaitl is bouncing. Can't quite find the back of the net to handle that puck. As McDavid down the wing, he's going to dart in on net. Shot fired, scores. What a deceptive move from Connor McDavid. And we know we've seen it before, but that was shades of 60. As McDavid, his second of the night, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, absolutely. That is what McDavid is, the most lethal shooter in the NHL. There's nobody better at shooting the puck than Connor McDavid. Joey Decord, literally a shooter-tutor on that goal against. McDavid just darts, and Decord doesn't even, he literally lets it wide through the 5-hole. That is the most ridiculous posture I've ever seen a goalie have, getting scored on by Connor McDavid. And there you have it. Adam Larsson couldn't keep McDavid to the outside. McDavid attacked with speed, shot a deceptive puck, scored a quick goal, power play goal, 5-2. Oilers lighten up the poor, terrible Kraken penalty kill. It's bad. It's 32nd in the league. Got to be now. And Philip Grubauer comes across the bench. He will relieve Joey Decord as McDavid called for that puck, and you knew he wanted it here. Just kind of backskated into the boards and then attacked Larsson and Decord with speed. Buried it. Joey Decord didn't have I still don't have a clue what was going on there. Man, I mean, you imagine being Joey Decord trying to read that and just being like, oh no. And that's pretty much exactly what happened on that one. 13:46 to go in this second period of play. 16-14 the shots on goal, so they've readjusted things. Things have tightened up a little bit. Looked like the Kraken were running away with it. The Oilers get some power play time and quickly make it work. The Oilers back to that 3-goal lead. Here you go. Go make it 6-2. Like I said, tonight's the night to score goals. They've done mostly that so far. Here's Janmark across the line. He's going to spin it deep to Mangiapane in the third line. Features Henrique and Janmark on his wings. This one back to the blue line for Regula. He gets it over to Mangiapane. Remember, it was Mangiapane who started the whole mess with a shot off the crossbar that was ruled a goal for a brief moment, as Janmark can't jam that one home in the crease, and now it's to the boards and cleared out by the Kraken on the skate. 13:07 to go here in this second period of play. Nurse along the end wall. He'll get it over to Regula. Regula with the puck up along the wall. He's got it out to center ice. Now again, here's a play by Nurse, firing it into the zone. The Oilers elect not to go for a line change. Looks like now Trent Frederic's hopped across the boards, and again, nice to see Frederic use that big frame to push deep and cause chaos with the puck, and that's exactly what Lazard decides to do as well, impeding his man physically rather than just going for the poke check. The Oilers force the Kraken to clear it deep in their zone, but a quick recovery from the Oilers, and Trent Frederic's going to skate this back to his own near side face-off dot. Frederic again using that frame. He lost the battle, but prevented the Kraken from pushing him towards the net. Here's Montour with the shot towards the net. It ends up off a stick, a shot from the outside, blocked there again by the Oilers, who have done an effective job at blocking some shots so far tonight. Puck drifts towards the net on the blue line shot. Another one drifted towards the net, and instead it's the Kraken that blocked their own shot this time. Emberson with a little bit of shot into the numbers with cross-check there on the Kraken attacker just off the side of Pickard. 11:55 to go. This game might not have had as much hate as that one a few games ago there against the Kraken. Again, the Oilers got into it there at the end of the game. Regula and Emerson both Regula and Clattenburg both dropping the gloves. The shot from the point here for the Kraken drifted towards Pickard with an unreal save. Just no wherewithal where that puck was, just stabbing legs at puck and getting the save. And here comes now Matt Savoy, who's trying to chip around Alexiak. That's a big boy to get around, and he's not going to be able to do it. 11:23 to go here in this second period of play. Here come the Kraken back the other way across the blue line. And then the Kraken will look to pivot back down low. Ekholm, backhander there now. Here coming chasing onto it is Zach Hyman. Hyman in on net. Roof job on Grubauer, and it's 6-2. There you have it. I think the Oilers, friends, safe to say, are in it to win it tonight. 11:07 to go in the second period. We're not even halfway home, and the Oilers have 6 goals tonight. Oh man, do I feel good about talking the pregame the way I did tonight. What a play by Zach Hyman, rushing down that right wing and then basically pulling the Connor McDavid on the backhand roof job flip. And what a beauty there. Hyman just top glove shoulder. Philip Grubauer, chef's kiss on that one. What a beauty from one Zach Hyman, and that's a goal he desperately needed. The Oilers, a goal they desperately needed to avoid giving up the next 2 against the Kraken, as they did after going up 3-0 moments ago in that first period. It feels like, I mean, time's just bleeding off the clock. It's 8:30, friends. As this one back now off the face-off for the Oilers. Bouchard over to Ekholm, and the puck across now for Hyman. He'll flip it near side boards, and the Kraken off the end wall. 10:56 to go in this second period play. 17-16 the shots on goal as the Kraken across the Oilers line. They've had pressure multiple times this game. They've scored 2 goals, but the Oilers far superior in attacking the net tonight, and Connor McDavid shooting the puck. So what can I say about that? As this is going to be McDavid trying to pass the puck through traffic. Kraken turn it back immediately the other way, and Eberle over the shot. McCann scores. I don't know, man. It just kind of is where it is tonight. We might have a 12-goal game. The Edmonton Oilers lead the Seattle Kraken 6-3 after Jared McCann scoots home his team's 3rd goal of the game. And this time, the last goal was a brutal play by Draisaitl and company. This one, a brutal play by McDavid and company. And Pickard, I don't know where he was going, but it was nowhere to make a save. And it ends up in the back of the net. Is tough goal. I want to see, did Bouchard angle that into the net accidentally? No, that was a straight in direct shot by McCann, tickling Twine. So, all right, well, that's where we're at. Okay, all right, let's go. The Oilers, 10:30 to go. They're up 3 once again. Go get the next one. This will be number 7 if we indeed do the job. But the Oilers, once up 4, now up 3. As they'll chip to the far side blue line. I'd love to see that third line get a goal. There's Janmark getting erased along the wall. No penalty there. Ekholm gets the assist on the Hyman marker. Good to see Ekholm get involved. The shot by Nurse hits Henrique in front. And then McCann, his 4th of the season. And from Eberle and Beniers, 12th assist by Beniers there. So, okay, Eberle, the ex-Oiler, getting a point. That factors. As the shot from the center of the ice there, just kind of by Tolvanen, blocked in front. Looked like he had a great chance to crack that puck on net from the slot. Couldn't quite do it. 9:49 to go. Here's it'll be picked up by Regula on the block shot there from the Kraken blue line shot. And, well, Decord's going to see Regula dump it in on, sorry, not Decord. That's Grubauer now in net for the Seattle Kraken. He was welcomed into the game by none other than Zach Hyman to make it 6-2. Now 6-3. Kulak, a couple of pitch and catch plays there from Pickard to Kulak over to Podkolzin. Now across the shot in from Emerson. And a weird bounce off the end wall lands on the tape of Draisaitl. Back to Kulak. He's going to let it rip off of Savoy. Many block shots by teammates tonight for both sides. 9:13 to go. Pickard has it evade him. The shot save made off the shoulder. Back to the blue line. The Kraken. Evans here. Now he took a costly penalty. Shot save made again by Pickard. And again out of position on the save. But able to get it going the other way. The Oilers cleared it out. 8:53 to go here in the second period of play. 19-17. The shots on goal for the Seattle Kraken. Right up the gut here. The Kraken able to pass across the Oilers blue line. Drifted around the boards by Gaudreau. Emerson battles it back behind. Picked up now by the Oilers as they will try and escape the zone. Lazar out there with this, what is the 4th line right now. Clattenburg on the ice as well as picking around. Wraparound opportunity for Lazar. And then Frederick just can't bury in front as he had a glorious chance with Grubauer just kind of rolling around in the crease a little bit following the sequence of the wraparound by Lazar. Puck off the boards. It's going to be not enough for icing as he had to let up. And then Clattenburg staples Larson into the boards, but not the same result as previously to draw the penalty. The puck across the line. Here's McDavid now still with Clattenburg on the ice. This is a recipe for disaster for the Seattle Kraken. Clattenburg's he's gonna peel off for a line change. Here comes Nuge on relief. Nuge looking to get going here in a positive direction. He's going to drift it down, far side corner to McDavid. 7:47 to go here in this second period to play. The Kraken battling off the wall, picked up there by Hyman. Beniers was stopped. And now Nugent Hopkins has an opportunity with Regula diving down deep into the zone to try and keep this puck alive inside the Kraken zone. Instead, now 3-on-3 back the other way towards the Oilers' net. Montour will have to drift along the wall to Beniers, as it'll be nice play by Nugent Hopkins, cutting that off. And now near side, McDavid trying to spin through a check to drift it out to center ice. He did. The Oilers with a line change here. Careful of the too many men as that puck went through the neutral zone. And here's now Nurse getting a pass ahead to the far side boards. Grubauer out to touch the puck behind his net for the first time. He hesitates heavy. The puck gets stuck behind the net. The Oilers fire it off the back of the net. That puck just ended up going nowhere good for the Oilers after a disaster class play there from Grubauer, taking about 5 seconds too long to make a move with the puck, as this puck now inside the Oilers zone. And the end wall, as they're looking to get this going, the Oilers will back and pivot there. Janmark across over now to Kulak. Kulak to the far side. The shot into the zone there by the Oilers as they peel off for a line change here. And we'll have the second line roll across the ice. Here's the nice part. The Oilers are keeping the lines very consistent tonight, and I think they're having due success with it. As here's the Kraken across the blue line into the Oilers zone. Pivot off the end wall there. Just a glass flip for the Kraken, trying to get the attack set up. That didn't work out. Savoy with a goal tonight, by the way. We'll recap all that in 6 minutes and change. Up into the zone. Drysdale skates across. He just pulled the Cale Makar maneuver, and then Matt Savoy couldn't read it as that shot blocked in front. As that stung whoever was blocking that shot. Maybe Lindgren, I think, for the Kraken. They'll go to the far side boards. Bouchard needs to be a little bit more physical on that play. That's okay. He wasn't. As Ekholm will pick it up, he'll bounce it off the wall into the middle of the neutral zone near side boards. It just kind of died there, and the Kraken able to fire it back in. Here's Ekholm along the wall, back to the blue line, cut off there by Larson. Swede on Swede as this one comes back, far side corner of the Kraken, bumbling, stumbling, trying to somebody grumbling to get that puck out from behind the net. They've kind of used that play a little bit tonight, just fire it out in front from behind the net. The shot from the blue line as the Kraken finally found a stick somewhere higher in the zone looking for that puck is stopped by Pickard. It snapped his mask, so we'll have a stoppage in play. But that roof job by Zach Hyman, the latest highlight for the Oilers following the goal. It was Jared McCann to make it 6-3. So here we have it. Shadow, welcome aboard. Crayons, welcome in. As we are rolling along on the stream tonight, friends, thanks for being aboard. If you haven't, like Shadow's already saying, if you haven't left a like on the stream, make sure to do that here tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out on the broadcast so far this evening. It's been a blast to be back live for the first time in a long while, right? That Carolina Hurricanes stream, not that long ago, but already calendar game-wise, absolutely. Yeah, so we will see where we're at here on the back end of the stream, give you an idea. I know many people don't care, but I do care about this number because it shows that we're running a show that's worthwhile sticking around. 81 hours on the stream so far. So thank you for hanging out with me here tonight. Dryman, welcome aboard. Glad to see you again. As we get going into, the next little bit here of the rest of the live stream. Again, what I'll tell you right now is if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, definitely make sure to do that. And I guess I didn't really set a number of goals needed for the Oilers in the second period to keep the stream going. I think it's safe to say we're going to keep the stream going right to the bitter end tonight, and it'll be a great end tonight for the Oilers that desperately need a victory here against the Kraken, and another one to keep the battle against this Pacific Division foe going in the right direction following the 4-0 shutout. So glad to have everybody aboard. As I said, we'll recap the goal scoring here so far in what is this period, as it's been Matt Savoy from Evan Bouchard and Adam Henrique, and then Connor McDavid on the power play from Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl. So quietly Evan Bouchard with a 3-point night, and Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm combined for that final 6 goal right there, that last one. So Oilers doing their thing, getting the job done. You'll like to see it. And now we just need to finish the job here in this. The second period? Yeah, second period. All right, so Joe DeCord sitting on the bench. He's been yeeted from the game. He's done. No bueno for him tonight. It's been a tough go. That's for sure. That's really the only way to put it. The Oilers attacked him, scored goals in bunches, and are winning a hockey game with just about 26 minutes to go. 25 minutes actually to go in regulation. Puck fired ahead. Again, the Oilers looking for that home run pass. Grubauer in trouble handling the puck. Henrique in on the attack, and I think the third and fourth lines are in for a little bit more ice time here tonight than the last game out against the Minnesota Wild. The Oilers shouldn't have to resort to playing Draisaitl and McDavid together for the last 5 minutes of regulation. At least one would hope tonight. Mangiapane creating chaos in the zone. Pass across the front of the net. He was just hoping for a bounce there more so as this one tipped back to Henrique. The shot from the slot denied in front. 4:43 to go as the Kraken get the clear back to the Oilers' blue line. Quickly turning it ahead was Nurse. Kraken turn it immediately right back. And across the line, here's a save on a shot from our old friend Jordan Eberle. 4:32 to go in the second period. The captain, Jordan Eberle, by the way. Sandra, good evening to you as well as we get things rocking here on tonight's live stream. All of a sudden, I didn't realize how many of you are along for the ride. We've peaked up over 86. We were rolling about 50 all the way through that first and second period for the most part. And I guess the Oilers winning hockey games is good for business, isn't it? Joey Decord, 2-7-1 record, career, 340 goals against average against Edmonton. Philip Grubauer, 3-5-0, 422 goals against average against Edmonton. Kraken goaltending, Oilers offense, not good. Mixture for Kraken goaltending. 4:32 to go in this second period. I told you in the pregame it could be a big night for the Oilers offense. I would have loved to see that, and I'm seeing it live here tonight against this Kraken. So here we go. 21-18, the shots for Seattle. So, Calvin Pickard not having a great night, but a better night. Shot towards the net, goes wide. Now the big thing is here for Pickard, he needs to stop a puck the rest of the way home. Ekholm, near side, walks down to the face-off dot, gives off to Zach Hyman. Hyman looking for the pass to the blue line for Bouchard. Oilers rolling one man high right now as they attack the net here again. Here's McDavid down the wing, trying to get towards the net. It'll be a weak clearing attempt, and Ekholm fires a dart towards the net. Bouchard with a quick stick check turns the puck back over. Here's McDavid. He's walked down the side here once. He's going to fire it across, and that's where, again, McDavid will tell you he should have just taken that to the net. He's already got 2 tonight. McDavid on hat-trick watch. We talked about that as a possibility, as this one's going to come back the other way now. Savoy can't stick lift, and maybe he's done it now. Here's Savoy in on net. He's going to look to pass this puck. It misses at the blue line, and then this puck is bouncing all over the place and misses everybody. Men are just blowing tires left, right, and center. Somebody clean up this ice. It's a disaster out there. Banana peels everywhere as here's Draisaitl now back to the blue line. Nifty play by Kulak to keep that onside. Podkolzin can't knock it down at the side of the Kraken net, and Gaudreau pivots. Podkolzin, who just stops at his bench, is like, well, guess it's the line change. I lost him. And the Oilers blue line, poke check there, lands on a Kraken stick, and then another play checks it to the near side, fired around the boards. Emberson with the puck will try and bat this one off the end wall. Couldn't do it. Now back to the blue line. Here's the Kraken across. Stevenson to the far side. The shot towards the net blocked in front. Emberson trying to get that going. Can't do it. The Kraken another shot. Save made. Battling. Scrambling. Tumbling in front of Pickard as it has been most of the night. Kraken come up with it at the far side. Oilers blue line. Here's Montour walking down. Shooting the puck. Looking for a deflection. Couldn't do it. 2:22 to go here in the second period to play. The Kraken pressing down 6-3. The Oilers, long shift, get it clear, and they're going to get their men to the bench here after what was a much-needed clear, I'll tell you that. 2:10 to go in the second period to play, and the Oilers just kind of ran into Grubauer there a little bit by the looks of it. No arm up. I don't know if Grubauer just braced himself for the hit and lost his edge because of it. Didn't really get a good look on the close-up as here's Kraken once again gaining the Oilers zone. Pushing towards the blue line is Frederick just to try and apply that little subtle pressure. It might force a mistake up ice somewhere. The Oilers unable to turn it back at the blue line first try. They were able to do it second try just after the Kraken entered the zone. Near side puck play. Nurse will spin it off the end wall. Regula takes a hard, steady hit there as the fourth line of the Oilers comes flying up the ice here now. And that's the thing. Connor Clattenburg, he's got a little bit of wheels to him. He's not a guy afraid to move his legs. Steers across the line. Henrique on the line change to the third line. Henrique gets stood up by the Kraken defense. They'll do it. Magic, hello, old friend. Glad to see you again here tonight. Tim's in the chat. Magic's in the chat. We got Shadow along with man. We got some old school regulars and some newer old school regulars at this point because I just haven't done this regularly enough over the last year. Ice and call here against the Oilers as that puck was really over the last 2 minutes not doing much good to anybody. Nobody was really keeping up with the Joneses there, trying to force pressure on each other. But the Oilers, you know what, they negate it. And we'll just kind of, hopefully keep this puck in a positive manner the rest of the way home in this period. So here we go, friends. Face off to the left of Cal Pickard. Record in December last season for the Oilers was 9-3-1. They really turned on the Jets. Shot towards Pickard, swallowed up in the crease. It's diving. They're checking at Pickard. Now we might have a problem here as Ekholm's going to take exception to Neiman in front, and somebody's got his helmet off for the Kraken. 57.2 seconds to go here. Pickard, the concern is he okay after getting jabbed at as much as he just did by the Seattle Kraken? He's talking things over with the officials and Henrique, and the Kraken just pounded the crease there. I mean, a little bit of poor play by Pickard to cover up that puck initially, and then just a scramble in the crease, and nobody gets too heated. Mangiapane comes in and gets going in hockey arts here as well. This is going. This has got the makings of a good finish to a live stream, friends. Like I said, after the first period, I was going to keep going if the Oilers could score 3 goals in the first. They've done it, and now here we are rolling along here tonight. Friends, we're closing in on the 100-hour mark here on the live stream again. To expect that on really the first full stream of the year, I was asking too much, but I appreciate you really giving me some good results here and getting what's been a fun hockey game the love it deserves. And I mean, I love to see the Oilers show up for once when I'm live streaming. All too often over the past year and a half, the Oilers have really not done well when I've been streaming. That was kind of the idea behind not streaming the playoffs. Just enjoy it for what it is. Hang out with my friends, play ball, watch hockey after the game. It was a great summer. I can honestly say my summer was so great, the fall depression was real. We're back. It's December. It's Christmas time. Again, I guess we'll be saying Merry Christmas here soon, but we'll also have ourselves some World Juniors to discuss that. I won't promise that the Oilers streams are going to be a massive part of the calendar in 2026 either, but playoffs they will be. And again, anybody that thinks this Edmonton Oilers team isn't going to be in the playoffs, well, I caution you. This Edmonton Oilers team will be in the playoffs. They will do some damage in the playoffs, and as Tat says there, if the Oilers could play like this all the time, 100%. This has been a treat to watch. I know we've given up some goals, and we got Verdon coming into the chat. Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. Friends, awesome to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for showing up. I think now all it comes down to for the Oilers is finish this dang thing off, right? Send us to bed happy. It's a 7 o'clock puck drop tonight. Not having to stay up too late. Sportsnet West, by the way, if you're looking for the game. I think the Flames are also on tonight against the Minnesota Wild. So kind of a little bit of confusion if you're trying to find the game as you get going and you're just firing up the old TV after watching the last game there. So here we go. Stevenson on the attack for the Seattle Kraken. Vince Dunn also out there. Following the scramble in the crease, that did lead to one. Our guy there, Calvin Pickard, taking a couple of jabs from the Seattle Kraken offense. Here's Ekholm. Oh, skating Stevenson, who blows an edge as well. The puck down the right wing into the Oilers offensive zone here. Nugent Hopkins is going to try and get it going. He can't do it. The puck scrambles through the Kraken zone. They get the clear. And now, Ekholm, anything? Let's get it going. Over to the far side, Bouchard pivots. 34 seconds to go. Up to his own blue line. Picked up by McDavid. Little stutter step through the neutral zone. Nugent Hopkins clamps down at the blue line. Keeps the puck alive. Hyman trying to keep it now alive on the pass from McDavid. And just a quick swat by the Kraken defense. Gets it out into the Oilers territory. Here's Bouchard now with a chance. 12 seconds to go here in this second period of play to get the puck moving up ice in a hurry. Bouchard over to Ekholm. The Oilers looking for the home run pass. Running out of time. Drifted towards Grubauer. Time will run out on the Oilers and the Kraken in this second period. A 6-3 Oilers lead after 2 periods play. Thank goodness. The Oilers got where they were going in the second period. It was looking hairy at the end of one. Connor McDavid, Vasily Podkolzin, and Leon Draisaitl. That point of the period, the Oilers were up 3-0 in the first. Tolvanen, Gaudreau answer right back. Savoy, McDavid, Hyman answer right back in succession for the Oilers. Just 10 minutes into that second period play, Jared McCann, not too long after, about 47 seconds, makes it 6-3. Bouchard's having a heck of a game. How about 3 assists? Again, I don't care what he's done defensively. He's saved a goal. He kicked one out of the crease. We love to see that. And he's got 3 assists. I mean, Zach Hyman scoring his second. Connor McDavid has 2 goals. Draisaitl with a couple of points. Yeah, you love to see it. And Adam Henrique, by the way, picking up an assist. It's all good in the hood. So here we go, friends. We'll take a quick break, TV timeout here on the stream. And we'll be right back after grabbing some grub. I didn't get to eat in that first period. I'm going to take a few minutes. If you are new to the channel right now, I want you to consider hitting that subscribe button. Stay tuned. Again, the live streams, if they can kind of work back to what they were, we'll get them going a little bit more regularly. And, of course, like I said, World Juniors coverage coming to the channel here at the end of the month. Stay tuned, friends. You're on Dolynny TV. Thanks for being here. All right, friends, just aboard for the ride here with you. I'm just taking a quick time out to eat. I'll be right back. It's 6-3 for the Oilers at the end of 2 periods of play. Thanks for being aboard. Like I said, again, if you are new, consider hitting that subscribe button. We'll talk the intermission talk here in a matter of moments. Just let me eat and we'll get back to it. Today in instant replays, you absolutely don't need me eating that bowl of rice, broccoli, and cauliflower as quick as possible. I didn't think chicken would be the right play. I mean, I'm going to be fighting the rice in the back of the mouth there enough. We did not need chicken stuck in the teeth. All right, that was last night. Wing Wednesday, by the way. Make sure, friends, if you have the capability to spend money this Christmas season, make sure in the weeks leading up to Christmas, you're getting out to the bars, your local favorite pub, your favorite bar, your favorite sports bar, whatever it is, and going out and enjoying a Wing Wednesday. They need your support. They want to see you get it done. I know I'm preaching here because, again, most people out there struggling to try and make ends meet. I get it. It's tough out there. Just if you have the means to do it, get out, see your favorite server, get it done, tip good. Let's get this going this year as we close out 2025. All right, what do we need to know? The Oilers, what are they doing? Well, they're up 6-3. So, life's okay. We're not struggling too hard tonight. I think Rogers Place has been pretty electric tonight. Pretty solid game for the Oilers. Not bad. Not bad. I think we've been better, we've been worse, and we've not been better much this year. So, that's good. I will tell you, for the Oilers, Connor McDavid has 2 goals. That's the nice punch here for the Oilers so far tonight, is the fact that Connor McDavid started the game by shooting the puck. And then the second one he had, on Joey Decord was beautiful. Again, if you're a fan of stunned goalies looking in the headlights, that's a highlight pack for you, my friends. Zach Hyman then followed it up with a ridiculous Connor McDavid-like effort to score a goal and ultimately welcome Philip Grubauer to the game. So we're looking all right. Things have been worse. Things have been better, but not much better this season for the Oilers. So, 4-0 shutout. Stuart Skinner getting the win and all the saves. That's better, but that's about the only real other example. I think maybe there's one other, but again, who remembers October at this point? All right, the Vancouver Canucks game. So the Oilers, Matt Savoy denied on the first breakaway of the game. He didn't worry about that. Found a soft spot in the Kraken defense. I'm going back the other way and getting it going. So I should correct myself. It's not Adio. I mispronounced that as I've been corrected. It's Adios, amigos. If you know where I'm going with that, you know where I'm going with that. But what a night for the Edmonton Oilers. So that's where we're at. So I think the conversation does, as it is in the chat right now, have to pivot a little bit to our friend Andrew Mangiapane, who truly started tonight's game off with the first goal. It was waved off, fair enough, off the crossbar, off the post and out. But for Mangiapane, he has kind of been a little spark that got this offense going tonight, and looking forward to him contributing maybe here in the third period. Again, if you're up 3 and the Kraken are pressing, or up 2 and the Kraken are pressing and have an empty net, I think you throw Mangiapane out there with the empty net and try and get him to pot it. I think that'd be the do-good, feel-good kind of thing. So not a bad go there. But as I'll also tell you right now, friends, if you're watching the live stream for the first time in a while, we finally got the alternate Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the wall. I've talked for years here on the Dolynny TV live streams that Nugent-Hopkins is my favorite Oilers player. Again, that's starting to shift now, right? You're starting to work in some new guys like a Connor Clattenburg. But yeah, I would say Connor Clattenburg's going to be a fan favorite, and he very well might carry the torch of heart and soul after Ryan Nugent-Hopkins departs for retirement. But for right now, you got both of them on the team, and it's a beautiful moment to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. I do love that. Starting to see the young, drafted, developed outside picks for the Oilers coming up to the ranks. I think, Samuel Janssen will probably earn a game for the Oilers next year. I know they're tough to start getting good goaltending in here and probably hire a stud, kind of, again, like we should have had in Jack Campbell when you spent all that money, but you didn't. So we'll see what the Oilers choose to do in the offseason. We'll see what the Oilers choose to do here before the trade deadline. But one would assume, at least for now, that the Oilers are going to just kind of play it even keel, see what happens, and get this going. So, yeah, we're in the intermission right now, hoping things get going. Again, if you haven't already left a like on the stream, make sure to do that. As the Oilers, moments away from getting this second period underway, and I want to say thank you again for tuning in. I'm seeing a lot of old faces in the chat tonight, and appreciate you guys hanging out because, again, it's kind of tough to, not live stream as much as I have and then expect results. So hopefully tonight we get it going and we get the job done against the Seattle Kraken, and it's the start of many more live streams to come in the month of December as we pivot towards the World Juniors here in just a little bit's time. It's going to be World Juniors time, and then it's off and running with the Oilers towards the end of the year. I know the Olympics are in there. The odds of getting an Olympic live stream in, less than 25%. I think the hours are weird. It's in Italy, right? So the timing to do it and go to work, maybe not the greatest. And we'll see how it pans out. But really looking forward to obviously having what is going to be a fantastic year for the Oilers if they get into the playoffs, right? This seems like the year where third time's the charm. At least that's the way I'm pitching it to myself, to try and figure out what the Oilers will ultimately do this playoff run. And I think it would be really nice to see an Olympic year, Team Canada win the World Juniors, Team Canada win the Olympics, and you betcha as well get out there, get it going, and get the job done in the Stanley Cup Finals. So that's where we're at. James, I'll say to Trent Frederick tonight, he is starting to look more the player that he is, if that makes sense. He's starting to get towards the front of the net a bit more. He had one little sequence there with the Lazar wraparound where he looked a little bit more lively in front. I think there's been a couple of sequences where he's had the puck and he's kind of bodied up his man as opposed to necessarily just playing the puck, which again, that doesn't sound like a good thing, but when you got Trent Frederic using the body first and the stick second, that's always going to be a good thing for the Edmonton Oilers. And it's a weird. He's on a line alongside, Connor Clattenburg and Curtis Lazar. You're not playing Frederic in his traditional, more so third line suited game, but it's more so he's got to also earn back the trust of the coaching staff. So an energy line like that in a game where the Oilers are just winning every single minute of the game, it seems, they should be providing more, but also it doesn't matter if they don't, I guess. And I guess maybe you wait until it gets greasy at the end of the hockey game if you're up 4 on the Kraken again at the end like they were in the last game. And, there were 2 fights, Clattenburg getting his first pro fight and, Regula getting it going as well. So, yeah, that's just kind of where we're at as we enter this third period, and all the Oilers really have to do is walk it home. But the issue is the Oilers have to walk it home. So, kind of deal. We'll see where it's at, and we'll see what happens here as the game carries on into this third period of play. I'm expecting this game to get back going. This intermission feels like forever, but typically when I eat during an intermission, that's when it starts screwing up my timelines. I know normally I get on some big rant and eat away a whole bunch of time. Bud there needs nurse point. Well, we'll see what happens here. And nurse to Mangiapane, empty netter. Anyone? Just saying. Brett Kulak skating out there for the Oilers in those beautiful alternate cream jerseys. Look how good bang on they look next to that Bakersfield color. Told you we'd be looking at cream. As the Oilers, Pickard gets back into net. Jack Michaels right there. As he's got somebody else alongside him, David Moore, inducted into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame. David Moore. He's on the mic right now. As Jack Michaels talking things over in the broadcast booth, everybody having a good laugh up there. Jack Michaels enjoying himself. He hasn't been able to enjoy himself too much this season. The Oilers have, won some nail biters and now fully in control of their own destiny entering this third period. As we'll see what Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have for us as the third period begins with a face-off at center ice between Connor McDavid and likely Matty Beniers. Here we go. Is that Matty Beniers? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I can't tell what that number on that jersey. It's a 10. Saw the A. All right, here we go. McDavid, some point. We're going to get to puck drop. Here we go. Let's do it now. McDavid loses the face-off. One back by the Kraken. Tipped into the Oilers zone. Far side corner. McDavid back to retrieve it. He'll roll around behind the net and picked up now by Ekholm as the Oilers will exit the zone rather quickly. McDavid down the right wing. Is he about to dart in on net? He's going to shoot, and it drifts off the end wall. McDavid with a dangerous shot from the slot cutting in and just couldn't quite hammer it home on the shot. So here's Hyman throwing it across the end of the back of the net there as it rolled past McDavid. Puck down into the far side corner. It'll be Hyman, unable to do that. Battling there. Hyman trying to get it in front. McDavid tips it in on Grubauer. Couple of whacks at it. Couldn't get it home. 19:18 to go in this third period to play. The Oilers chew up 45 seconds inside Seattle's zone to start this game. Here we go. The third period down and underway. The Kraken can't even get out from behind their own net. Matt Savoy providing great distraction. Philip Grubauer trying to understand what his defender's trying to do there. Vince Dunn gets 2 passes to exit the zone, but Podkolzin disrupts at center ice as Matt Savoy arrives on scene to help. Savoy will steal the puck away and dive it deep into the Kraken zone, and then Savoy's going to go right after it and kind of get the body in there enough to disrupt. You love to see that. Regula back over near side to Draisaitl as the Oilers take control of possession inside the Kraken end. Regula, you'd love to see him shoot the puck a little bit more, wouldn't you? As he's taken down, big man down on the ice. That's a lot of leg going up when he goes down. The pass around the boards near side for the Kraken. They'll go down behind the net now, in behind Cal Pickard. Puck rolled around near side. As the pass will go down again by the Kraken. That one more so just a dump. A minute 45 gone here in the third period of play. Matt Savoy this time not looking for the home run pass. He's content just to dump it down deep into the Kraken territory. 18:02 to go. Turnover to the Oilers. Puck on net. Matthias Janmark, 42 games later, gets the goal at 7-3 for the Oilers. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a goal there. What a takeaway from the Oilers there in the offensive zone. They just find a loose puck, and Matthias Janmark on a discombobulated, maybe a little bit of a confused line change by the looks of it for the Kraken, as it just takes a hop off the corner, and then Janmark over to Mangiapane, back to Janmark, back of the net. Janmark, what a move there, and what a play by Mangiapane to drift it off the stick. Woo-wee. We needed that one, and Janmark desperately needed it. His first of the season comes a lot earlier, I think, than the last one last year, and he scored for the first time in 2 years on an actual goalie in the regular season. It's a beautiful thing. It's the most beautiful thing I've seen tonight. All right, here's the Seattle Kraken off the face-off at center ice, winning it back, 17:53 to go. I believe it'll be Janmark from Mangiapane who factors in somehow, some way tonight. The Oilers, 7 goals, getting some depth scoring. I said it off the start of the stream. I was hoping for a big night again. The Kraken have been good at defending and not scoring a ton of goals, so there's a chance the Oilers, if they blow it apart, can win this one handily. Well, they're up 7-3 with 17:50 to go here in this third period of play. Here's now the face-off down, first of the year for Janmark. What a goal it was as an effort there. It gets Mangiapane his 6th assist of the season. Across the line, the Kraken fire a puck off the pads of Pickard, and then a block shot there by Henrique. Game 2 of a 5-game homestand, and the Oilers all of a sudden have scored 7 goals and only given up 4 through 2 minutes, or through 5 periods in 2.5 minutes. So starting to look better for the Oilers. And now when you go back to the last, 8 periods in 2.5 minutes, the Oilers have only given up 4 goals. So that goals against average, it's not going to come down substantially tonight, but it will start to correct itself here, and the goals for will start to correct itself as well. As Cam, thank you so much for the super chat. I got to say, that's probably the first super chat since 2024 playoffs, if I'm being honest with you. So thank you so much. And as well, what I'll tell you is, we're going to go here to a situation where, can the Oilers play the Kraken every game this season? Man, what a drastic game it's been here so far. So here we have it. This one back now to the middle of the ice, picked up by Seattle. It'll be cut off there by Clattenburg, who's going to just drift it nowhere, really. It's actually back to Bouchard. 16:59 to go here in this third period of play. 25-23 the shots on net for the Kraken. Bouchard makes a guy go tumbling into the corner. Oilers get the line change, top line on. Drifted in behind the net, done. We'll get it over to the far side boards inside his own zone, and this will be drifted now through the neutral zone by Seattle. Nice little slow play through the middle to get into the Oilers zone and through the defense rather easily. Back to the point, swallowed up by McDavid on the block shot. Home run pass to Hyman, not available. Again, that's kind of been the Oilers' MO a little bit here this year, is getting the home run passes a little too greedy, as this now Darnell Nurse drifting over to Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins into the corner for Nurse, taken away on a lazy just pass there from Nuge, really no excuse. And then another lazy backhand by McDavid, and now Seattle's got something cooking right in front. What a blocker by Calvin Pickard. You love to see it, as this one's now picked up by Seattle again. Shot drifted towards the middle of the net, and Pickard will play that one out of the zone. Maybe showing the post there. Maybe a post for the Kraken. I don't know. That was a beautiful save if it was a save. Seattle got that one fed right in front, and it's actually off the post. Never mind. I thought it was a beautiful blocker there for Pickard, but it is off. Byron staying close to the blocker too. Call me fooled because I was. 15:56 to go here in the third period of play. Draisaitl, Stevenson. Face off, one back by the Oilers. Here now is Savoy. He'll get it up the ice for the Oilers. Picked up now by Alexiak on the dump into the zone as Hockey Art. Thank you so much as well. Thank you. Appreciate the heck out of that as well. You guys are rocking and rolling here tonight. Thank you. As this one's going to go down to the far side. Picked up by Stevenson. We got a game to call here to close it out in the last 15 minutes of play. Puck to the near side. Picked up by the Oilers inside their own zone. Can Matt Savoy dart away for his second of the night as this was picked up by Podkolzin, who's also looking for his second of the night, by the way. 15:18 to go. The Oilers up 7-3 on top of the Seattle Kraken. Friends, by the way, unless YouTube plays an ad, which I have no say in anymore, I'm not throwing anything else in the mix here the rest of the way home. Thanks to Art and, of course, Cam. Let's get this going. 15:02 to go in the period. Here's Savoy drifting around. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Matt Savoy has had two beauty backhands from behind the net. That time looking for Vasily Podkolzin in front. Just couldn't jam it onto his tape. Had Philip Grubauer all kinds of out of sorts. As it's Grubauer and Pickard in net. And Alex there for you as the updated matchup after Decord was chased by the Oilers. 23 shots on net, 7 goals for the Oilers. Here's Henrique coming back the other way across the line now into the Seattle zone. Shot towards the net off the end wall, looking to maybe set up Janmark. Far side, Regula, who's been actively pinching all night, pushed it deeper. Couldn't get the puck going in the right direction fully, though. Here come the Kraken back the other way. Flipped there by the Kraken down to Regula. We'll punch it over to the far side for Nurse. Dribbled up the middle. It's going to find the Seattle Kraken stick at their own face-off dot near side. 14:05 to go. Pitch and catch back to the dot. Up the gut and across the blue line of the Oilers. Far side pass. Glad that did not handle onto the tape well. 13:54 to go here in this third period of play. Clattenburg takes a stick up high and he is hurt. And he is hurt bad as he is kicking his skates on the ice. You do not see a player do that often. And I think he took that stick in the eye area. TD Forbes quickly out to take him down the tunnel here. And he is hurting massively on this one. And Clattenburg, you got to remember, he's as tough of a customer as they come. He's down the tunnel immediately. And the Oilers, just when they couldn't afford to lose another guy, and a guy who has provided absolutely everything you could ask. And that high stick catches him right in the eye. That is painful to watch for a guy like Connor Clattenburg. And he is in all kinds of pain there skating off. He skates off under his own power, though. So good news there as we keep going here. So, yeah, that's where it's at. We'll see what happens. But that's scary to watch. So hopefully, Clattenburg's okay. No LTIR needed there. The Oilers have been all around that LTIR situation this year, haven't they? But I would suspect for the Oilers, if Clattenburg is to be lost, I'll say this right here, if Clattenburg's to be lost, I'd expect Quinn Hudson would come up for the Oilers. I know that the obvious choice would be Ike Howard, but I think from an Edmonton Oilers perspective, Quinn Hudson is kind of more the player you'd want to bring up just because Howard's had his cup of coffee so far to start things out this season. I think Hudson's due to get some time. He's third in AHL goal scoring. So just if I'm telling you anyone's coming up, it would be definitely Quinn Hudson, in my opinion. I know Robbie Arventi's had a good time. Mike Howard's been doing everything right down in the minors too, so don't kid yourself there. But I think it's just definitely due time we see Quinn Hudson again for a little stint, and then once you get back to things and you kind of get things going in a positive direction, Ike Howard comes back up when it's a little bit more stable. Wild Brick, welcome in. Friends, we are about to cross 125 hours on the stream, so thank you for hanging out like I've said all night. Really do truly appreciate it. Clattenburg has been injured. How and what to the extent, I probably won't have an update the rest of the way on the broadcast. We'll check social media following the game. I do want to again say a thank you to Art and Cam for hitting the super chat tonight. Appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. You know what? I decided to skip dinner, sit down and start a live stream. We had dinner eventually, but you know what? This has been an absolute dream of a stream. Kind of one of the best situations you possibly could. Derek Ryan in the house tonight signing autographs to some fans in the building. So glad to see Derek Ryan up and around here again. And ultimately he is where he is. So double minor high sticking to Brendan Montour. So that's where we're at. As this one will go off the wall back to the blue line, and the Oilers miss a pass there. And Bouchard will chase back into his own zone behind with 13:30 to go. The Oilers will be on the power play until the very end of the first half of the third period. Across the line, the Oilers dart in with speed. Here's McDavid back to the middle. A skate deflection off of Hyman starts the Kraken back 3-on-1 kind of late. Here's an opportunity towards the net. Punched out by one Mr. Cal Pickard. That'll start the rush back the other way for the Oilers. 3-on-2 now. Help coming late. Here's Nugent Hopkins. The shot fired in on net. The goal, the captain, the hat trick for Connor McDavid off the far side wall. It's a power play goal. Woo! The Oilers lead 8-3 as the hats rain down at Rogers Place. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. How bad did I need this? I will tell you, on an early December Thursday night, Connor McDavid sniping a hat trick. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have one heck of a post-game phone call to make to my brother, who you would have caught over on the post-game after the Minnesota game with Patrick on the Oilers Fanatic. Chang, thank you so much as well for hitting that. Appreciate the heck out of that as we continue along here. The Oilers up 8-3. It was indeed for the Oilers Matthias Janmark that scored the 7-3 goal, and now all of a sudden it's 8-3 and the Oilers are absolutely pouring it on. Like I said, there was some, suspicions that tonight might be a big goal scoring night for the Oilers, and Cal Pickard ultimately, stepping up and saving enough pucks when needed. That last sequence, proof in the pudding right there, as Connor McDavid and crew come back the other way and score a goal to make it 8-3. So the thing is, Maximus, absolutely. It's only one game, but like I said, you have no clue how bad I needed to see this. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins now up to 3 points on the game himself. Draisaitl's rolling a heck of a night here. I think he's got 3 points himself as well. So he's crushing along for the ride. And the Oilers are doing the damage against the Seattle Kraken, as you would expect, as they also typically do here tonight. So there you go. The big thing is, I'm with Brick here. Make it 10. Make it 10. The Oilers put up a statement. You've had 9 scored against you in one game. Make it 10. Nugent Hopkins now 2 points above pace for point per game this year. 2 minutes left on the power play to Montour. Double minor. So beautiful thing. We killed it quick, and now here we are with 13 minutes to go. A chance to make it 9-3. This Oilers season turning out to be a roller coaster and a half. You'll love to see it. Last 2 games versus Seattle, the power play is 5 for 5. The penalty kill is 9 for 9. We talked about that in the pregame lead up to the live stream. Go back, rewatch if you don't believe me. The special teams battle of the Oilers, it was for them to win. And they've scored a ton on the power play tonight. Face off, one back by the Oilers. It's going to be the second unit out there, probably for the full 2 minutes now. As drifting up the ice here and on net. Here's an attack from Mangiapane. Backhander denied by Grubauer. There's a call on the ice, and Mangiapane has just drawn a 5-on-3 for the Edmonton Oilers for the next minute 49. Ooh, baby. Let's go here. You love to see it. As we'll have a hook on Mangiapane as he drove to the net. And it is just, honestly, I've watched a lot of Oilers hockey this year, and I've watched a lot of terrible games. The absolute speed and the wherewithal of which they're attacking the net this game is night and day from a lot of what we've seen this year. And that's the case here as they continue to pile up power plays, pile up goals, and pile up attacks and chances on net. Tolvanen will take the hook and call, number 20 for the Kraken. He's got a goal tonight, by the way. 12:50 to go, and that second unit stays out there as Nurse. Hey, somebody said they just need a Nurse assist, by the way, so let's see what happens here. As this is Ekholm Looking towards the net, over to Mangiapane. Should have been ready to pull the trigger. He would have had the heck out of that. This is going to be Mangiapane in on net. He's going to back over to Nurse. The shot, the save, Grubauer. 12:30 to go, minute 29 left. There's maybe a little bit too much time to attack the net there with the shot, but hey, that's okay. We'll be fine. As we will see what the Oilers can feature here. That second unit's going to ride this entire power play, and that's the most wild thing you've ever seen, because it is not often that a second unit for the Oilers get a minute 49 two-man advantage time, but that's going to be the case here as Henrique Savoie and Mangiapane. The unit is Nurse and Ekholm stay out there as Henrique, who also has a point tonight on the blue line for the Oilers. The big boys have done enough. Let the secondary guys go out there and get that. You cannot lose this game from this point here. I mean, Oilers going to oil, but it's not going to happen tonight, I'll tell you that, as the Oilers attack the outside towards the net, rimmed around the boards, picked up there by Nurse. Nurse will battle off the wall to free up space back to the blue line for Ekholm. Ekholm looking down, walking. He backs down the Seattle defense, now into a middle of the ice, center of the slot kind of triangle for the Kraken. Ekholm's going to rip the shot on net, deflected away by Grubauer, picked up by Nurse. The attack coming here for the Oilers. The shot by Nurse, gloved again. And now Henrique's going to cause chaos, and here's Mangiapane. And the Oilers looking to get greasy in front of the net, 5-on-3. Okay, boys. Let's go. I love it. I'm loving every little bit of this hockey game tonight, friends. Welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in to Dolynny TV, thanks for being aboard. There's a scrum in the crease right now. The Oilers taking it to old friend Adam Larson. And Darnell Nurse, as Henrique and Larson were battling in front. No love lost there. They were not teammates. And then Lindgren and Larson get going with Henrique. And then Mangiapane, as he so often does, comes in, gets dummied immediately. But hey, he's just throwing his weight around as best he can. Friends, again, what I'll tell you, if you're new to the streams, if you're new to Dolynny TV, consider hitting that subscribe button here on the channel. Would love to have you aboard as a regular viewer on the channel. Let's get back to the game, though. I need not spend more time on myself. 5-on-3, 44 more seconds, 11:45 to go here in the third period to play in an 8-3 Edmonton Oilers lead, in which they lead the shot clock 27-25. Lindgren is going to come in and take a face-off. We've got the defenseman taking a face-off. Come on, Matty Savoie. Let's get this job done here. He's going to win it back handily. There was no contest there. Matt Savoie's got that all day. Here's Ekholm over to Darnell Nurse. Back now for Savoie. He fired it right in front, trying to jam it off of Henrique. Couldn't do it. The Oilers retreat back quickly. Nurse with 30 seconds to go in the two-man advantage across the blue line. Here's Savoie to a knee. The puck's going to bundle itself behind the net. Okay, sure. I don't know how that hopped there. As this puck's going to roll around the boards. Left by Henrique for Ekholm. Henrique, oh sorry, that's Mangiapane. Mangiapane over to Ekholm. Back to Mangiapane. One-timer for Savoie. That's a weird look on an Oilers power play, that right-on shot, but I'll take it as Henrique fires, scores! Matt Savoie, second goal of the game! The power play does not quite expire from the two-man. The Oilers will remain on the power play. It is 9-3. Oh, heck yeah, let's make it 10, friends. I'm sorry, Seattle. Again, the Oilers needed to do this at some point, and they're doing it now. I don't mind the Seattle Kraken. I feel like you should be below us in the standings every which day, but again, don't mind them. And Matty Savoie gets the job done. So there you have it. As Burden, Connor McDavid hasn't had a hat trick since the start of that season. Well, just saying. I was at that hockey game, and it was a very special moment as the family, or the father and son in front of me, they had lost their uncle, well, the man's brother, earlier in the off season, and they came to watch Connor McDavid score a hat trick that game, and we got to celebrate him. And there was hugs in the stands that night, man. I was crying, they were crying. What a moment that was, that Connor McDavid hat trick. 5th goal this season. Matt Savoie on the power play. Henrique and Ekholm get the assist. So sorry if you still need that Darnell Nurse assist. Here's the Kraken across the blue line, 10:40 to go. As we still got plenty of hockey game to go. There's 10 minutes to score another goal here for the Edmonton Oilers. As this one's over to the far side. As this is going to be the Kraken rolling in. As I think the title of tonight's video, I know I said in the title of the last video, it was "This as Bad as It Looks," Oilers fans. Well, wow is all I can say, Oilers fans. What a night for the Edmonton Oilers. 9-3 over top of the Seattle Kraken right now, as this will be lifted by the Oilers on a defensive effort by Amberson to get it out, and I don't think you'll see Connor McDavid and company the rest of the way home this game. Parker, I'm with you. Let's go get 10. Like I said, Seattle, I'm sorry that this comes at your expense, but let's get it going, Oilers. Here's Drysdale right now alongside Regula coming up the ice. Regula's going to drift it in across the line. Savoy now looking for the hat trick, and we've got a stoppage in play with 9:51 to go. Not sure what's happening. We'll have a commercial break, but I want to give a huge shout out again to the guys and friends that have live here on the live stream. Hit the super chat button. Cam, Art, and Chang, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Again, it's been a weird past year and a half here not live streaming on Dolynny TV. Again, how many of these games have we gotten a chance to live stream? And tonight, the Oilers show up and get the job done for us, and I really do appreciate them doing that. So, yeah, as we go, Clattenburg's been injured in this game. Connor McDavid's got a hat trick. We're all over the place. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has more points than you can count. Draisaitl, same thing. Connor McDavid, same thing. Adam Henrique's got 2 points. Matthias Ekholm's got 2 points. Matt Savoy's got 2 goals. Done and dusted. Don't let Matt Savoy get hot, by the way. He is on pace to have an unreal year if this is the start of something big. So we'll see what happens. 100%. As Parker's a Habs fan, I just want to see my first 10-goal blowout happen. Well, I'm going to tell you, from an Oilers fan perspective, it would be very much welcome to see the Oilers do what they're doing here tonight and continue it to double digits. It's been a tough year in terms of getting blown out as an Oilers fan. If they do it, heck yeah. I must say, I'm really liking how this... I feel like there is a different term for it. I feel like women's clothing, the term for this plaid jacket is more a shacket. I don't know if that's the term for male clothing for this item, but... I really do like how this looks on stream. It's very comfortable and exactly what I need for weight down here in the studio. Major part of the game for the Oilers. What is it? The power play? I don't know. I think that's what it is. Oh, no, it's Connor McDavid scoring goals. Yeah. No, it's actually the power play. Just kidding. Truly, it is the power play. Connor McDavid scoring goals, though. He's done that 3 times tonight. And Zach Hyman, it's just goal scoring. Never mind. It's just straight up the major part of the game is just the big boys scoring goals. Leading scorers versus the Kraken all time for the Oilers. Draisaitl with 35 points. Connor with 3 goals and an assist tonight. Draisaitl with a goal and 3 assists. The Banana Lands numbers. Either way you cut it for this. And Art, if Savoy also gets a hat trick, who gets first star? Good question. I think Matt Savoy. I think you give it to him. Just for the simple fact of that's the rookie's first hat trick, right? Kid's first hat trick. Let's go. Here's Regula across the line. The Oilers, the only thing that matters now is making it 10 with 9.5 to play in the third period to play. Not 29-25. Did the Oilers plan on winning tonight? It sure looks like it. Across the line, here's Seattle. Back now to the blue line, over to the far side. A shot save made by Pickard. Puck goes off the glass right in front of the net. Scrambled up there. Draisaitl's able to steal it away. So I guess the big boys will continue to play hockey, but that's simply to keep the lines consistent and maybe allow Matt Savoy a chance to get going. Podkolzin just stapled somebody into the bench, by the way. That might be hit of the game for the Oilers here, and this one will be picked up again by the Oilers as Savoy's looking to skirt up the ice instead. I think he's going to go for a line change as Mangiapane's on the ice. He got this 9-goal party started with a disallowed goal. Technically, the Oilers, once upon a time, do somewhat have 10 goals. And the Oilers fans are abuzz. I can't hear it, but the Oilers fans are buzzing inside Rogers Place right now. I will tell you that much as here's skirting out in front, Matthias Ekholm. Over to the far side, Mangiapane. He's got Frederick and Lazar with him. And man, Trent Frederick scoring a goal would be absolutely electric. The Wave well in position tonight, winning by 6 goals. Frederick, big body, wins the battle. Love to see it. That's awesome. That's what we need to see Frederick do more of. That is what will lead to goal scoring the most, is him playing his most effective game. The fans are enjoying the heck out of their night tonight. Here's Connor McDavid over to the far side. There's shot loading save kicked out by Philip Grubauer on Brett Kulak. Kulak back to the blue line. The Kraken have just had no answer for the Oilers cycle all night. Not that they haven't had their own cycles inside the Oilers zone. Heck, they got 3 goals of their own tonight. The Oilers just dummying pucks on net and scoring 9 out of 30 goals. Really, right? 3 0-10, 30% tonight here so far. As this one's across the line, shot towards the net. Back to the blue line. Kraken, save made by Pickard, scramble in front. The big thing we're watching for here right now, and I mean, the Oilers fans at Rogers Place are making it is playoff level noise inside Rogers Place right now. This is the loudest I've heard the crowd in the regular season in months, if not years. 7:16 to go here in the third period. This is what the Oilers needed coming out of the Colorado game, out of the Dallas game. Here's Mangiapane in on net. He stumbles. Shot is made by Janmark eventually. Grubauer swallows it up. 7:04 to go here in this third period of play. I mean, we are literally in the territory where you could see another goaltending change for Seattle. It won't change anything here, but this is absolutely unbelievable from the Oilers. Long overdue, and I'm so glad to have chose to come home, sit down, and enjoy the heck out of it with all of you tonight. Appreciate you being along for the ride, friends. If you haven't already left a like on the stream, make sure to do that tonight. We're up at 54 likes, but we can definitely hit 75 by the end of the stream. As here we go. Let's get this going. Last 9-goal game was April 15th, 2024 against the San Jose Sharks. We remember that one well. I believe Vinny Desharnais was a factor in that one, if I'm not mistaken. 7:02 to go in this third period of play. As this is going to be worked back now inside the Oilers zone. Picked up now by the Oilers. Regula's skating out across the line. Mangiapane getting it going to the far side. Henrique's going to throw a check, and now the Kraken, a little bit of a break in on net. Pickard, the glove hand save, and now Henrique didn't like something. This is the second time Henrique's been perturbed here in 6:39 to go in the third period. We'll have another scrum, and this is reminiscent of what happened last time out for the Kraken and the Oilers. The 4-0 game got a little scrummy at the end. 2 fights closed out. It won't be Clattenburg tonight, but let's go. The Oilers doing the job here. 9-3 over top of the Seattle Kraken. 6.5 minutes to make it 10. Run them right out of the building. Wouldn't that be something tonight? And the Oilers have had themselves one heck of a game here this evening. So, friends, what I'm going to tell you right now is if you haven't already hit the subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, make sure to do that as soon as possible here tonight. We'll be live streaming the World Juniors as that gets underway around Boxing Day, and of course, hopefully get some other Oilers live streams in. Kind of got some orders from higher up to spend some more time at home as we get towards Christmas. Just need to slow down on the social life a little bit. Getting out there too much and causing too much chaos and airdrie, so get going. So let's get it going. Welcome aboard. 6:37 to go as the face-off down inside the Oilers zone as the Seattle Kraken pushed it down. Pickard gave the puck away. Nice play recovery there by Kulak. 6:27 to go in the third period. This is a game where if there were any mistakes, you forgive everybody immediately. Here's Savoy in on net trying to find the hat trick. He's still got the puck. Forced it towards the net. Couldn't get it there, and the Kraken eventually recover. Savoy has been all over this game easily. If you're giving a guy a third star tonight because of the efforts of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, it's Matt Savoy unless he scores the hat trick. Here's Kraken offense getting to work inside the Oilers zone. Draisaitl bats it there, and I love that Savoy, knowing that he's got Podkolzin and Draisaitl, who typically work very hard defensively. Very typically work hard defensively. I know Draisaitl's brain farts suck, but he retrieves pucks like a demon. I will tell you, Savoy knows he can cheat for that offense, and it's proven itself here tonight. You always got to keep that recipe going here as we keep the season rolling through December towards the game 30. Shot off the blocker this time of Pickard. 5:24 to go here in the third period to play. The Kraken just running the Oilers around the zone a little bit, but not to any effect. Here now comes Lazar chasing towards the net, trying to get there. He's not going to do it. Lazar off the end wall, battling, turned aside by Larson. 5:08 to go in this third period of play. Back the other way. Here comes Bouchard looking for this puck. He'll get it over to Ekholm far side. Now near side for Trent Frederick, who would love to see himself score a 10th goal of this hockey game. Bobbles off his stick. 4:52 to go. Battling there, trying to figure it out are the Oilers. In on net, Kraken can't fire at home. Aiden, welcome aboard. As the Seattle Kraken definitely not winning this one tonight. 4.5 minutes to go in this third period to play. 31 shots on net for the Oilers. Can they make it 10? That's the challenge here as time continues to tick along in this third period to play. The Kraken back at their own blue line will fire a wild shot towards the end wall. Here now is Nurse back to the blue line. And out by Nugent Hopkins over to Regula. Side corner, gets it down low behind the net. That'll be it as Everly takes over near side half wall, Kraken side. 4:03 to go, so we're now inside the last 240 seconds to go in the game. Up the middle of the ice, tipped there, 3:55. Kulak off the end wall, over near side to Amberson. Up the wall, trying to make a play now. The Kraken turn it over and skid it towards the net, but just can't quite get it there completely. As this one towards the net again by the Kraken, steered away by the Oilers. The alternate jerseys getting an ultimate treatment here by the Edmonton Oilers this evening. 9 goals, multiple goal scorers tonight, lots of them. 3:30 to go. Draisaitl, McDavid, Savoy. We love to hear those names on the score sheet. Matthias Janmark even. 3:23 to go as time, like I'm saying, winding down here, friends, as it's picked up by Adam Henrique. Across to the far side, shot in off the linesman's skates here by the Oilers. 3:09 to go in this third period of play. Picked up the Kraken, lift into the Oilers territory, and this is full kill the clock mode here by the Oilers. If they get a dangerous chance, they'll do it, but I don't think they want to score 10, just simply keep it respectable against the Kraken. Picking it up, Draisaitl back to the blue line, coming back the other way. Here's Matt Savoy over to the far side. Darnell Nurse joins the fray over for Podkolzin. Podkolzin as the Oilers set up the attack and try to prove me wrong. Here's Draisaitl over to the far side. Well, this is going to be rolled here by Bouchard, flipping it back as Draisaitl just kind of leaves it there for one of the two, either Nurse or Bouchard. As Podkolzin will flip it down low around the boards. The Oilers just toying with the Kraken here. As it's going to come back now to the blue line. Picked up by Nurse, fired in. Off the paddle, back against the end wall by Grubauer. 2:10 to go in the third period of play. Kraken through the middle, get it tipped in down low into the Oilers zone. 2:05 to go now in this third period of play. The Oilers get, well, Lazar and a weird combination of Frederick and Hyman out there. A little bit of hard work never hurt nobody. Here's Hyman dancing. He still needs another few goals here to get this season underway properly, so not a bad shift for him to take. Emerson, the shot fired towards the net, chested up by Philip Grubauer with 1:45 to go in the third period of play. Wow, oh wow, this has been a heck of a dandy tonight. Woo, love it, absolutely love the heck out of seeing the Oilers score 9 goals. We've been waiting for this game all season, and here it is at the end of it all. As we get going towards what should be a good finish, that's for sure. The hit of the game. Tell me it's the Podkolzin hit. Tell me I'm right. No, indeed it is instead the Regula hit from earlier. Again, I said I didn't get a good look at that Podkolzin hit, but Regula stapling Catton against the end wall absolutely leveled him. And then Regula, for good measure, tried to draw a penalty on the play. Here's Regula off that face-off won by the Oilers to the left of Grubauer. Off the end wall, the weird line of Lazar, Frederick, and Hyman continues out there. As we get it going back the other way, Nurse will slash it towards the Kraken blue line. 1.5 to go in this third period of play. As we get going back towards the goaltender Grubauer. Instead, now the Kraken turn it up ice. Chip it across the blue line. They can't get it going there. And here are the Oilers turn it over at center. Regula is able to recover near side right in front of the timekeepers. Now coming across to Lexiak. Looking to get this puck across the blue line. Buck 07. As this one comes now off the wall. Regula sees it fire towards Pickard. No big deal there. Battling 5-8 points. 5-7. I don't know what I read on the clock there. Here's McDavid nonetheless going for 4 on net. He's going to leave it against the end wall. Janmark out there on the top line. I don't mind line blendering now. It doesn't matter. As we get going here towards getting back towards the net there. This will be a shot towards for the Oilers. The far side, 27 seconds to go in the third period. 9-3 the score for the Oilers, and they will walk home the last 20 seconds here in on net. Charging towards the net, Janmark blue attire. 14 point nothing left to go here. 9 seconds on the clock. And the Oilers are going to win. No way. 9-4. Less than 5 seconds to go, and the Kraken make it 9-4. What? Oh my goodness. Discombobulated there. Tough go for the Oilers. Calvin Pickard so close to getting that goals against average down tonight. He will not. He'll improve the save percentage, but not the goals against, as the Oilers get lazy in front of the net. Henrique gets beat and Kulak gets chased, and Amberson just can stand there and stare in disbelief. And the Kraken score with 4.8 seconds to go to make it 9-4. So there you go, Oilers fans, thinning out here in a hurry. Kraken will collect the puck, and that'll do it, friends. Thank you so much for being aboard here on the ride tonight. Appreciate it again. For those of you that tuned in, I would like to say to Cam, Art, and Chang, thank you so much for the super chats this evening. And right now, what I'm going to tell you is we're going to switch to post-game mode. We'll keep the stream going for those of you that want to hang out. Again, if you're tuning out, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do that on your way out, and let's get into post-game mode. This is Dolynny TV, friends. The Edmonton Oilers defeat the Seattle Kraken 9-4, and wow is all I can say. That was impressive by the Oilers. A response to a Minnesota game, a response to a Kraken game where they were trending in all the right directions. Yes, you give up 4, but that's what Pickard's averaging this season, and you win 9-4. What a night to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. What a night for the alternate jerseys. Of course, if you're tuning into the video for the first time in a little while, you're going to see, for the first time, we've got the Nugent Hopkins jersey on the wall. Glad to have it up there. And now the cream beside the cream, and perfect. Everything's great. So what do we know? It's pretty good tonight. It's a pretty good night. It was. It was a really good night to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. It was a really good night to watch the Oilers do what they did. I will tell you that. It was awesome to see, 9-4. I think coming into the game, it was very easy to look at the stats, the most basic stats, goals for, goals against, power play, penalty kill percentages, and say if the Oilers got going on the special teams tonight, if they got going, just attacking the net like Connor McDavid said he was going to shoot more, if they just did what they did against Seattle, did what they did against Minnesota, and just put it all together for 60 minutes tonight, it was going to be a big night at home against the Kraken in the Alts. Well, 9-4, 13 goals scored in a hockey game, and you win by 5. That's a big night, that's for sure. So the Oilers do a heck of a good job tonight here on the Nightcap, friends. Dolynny TV, glad to have you aboard. If you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Love to have you aboard. For those of you watching on the live stream as we record this, my apologies if I've just asked twice. But for the Oilers standpoint, Pickard does everything you need him to win. Nothing more, nothing less. Again, realistic expectations for Cal Pickard, exactly that. You're not asking Pickard to win you 50 games. You're not asking him to get 4 shutouts in his last 6 games. You're not asking him to do anything other than give you your best possible chance when he starts to win. And that's what he did. That's the beauty of Calvin Pickard. Love it. We win 9-4. It's great. Connor McDavid, a hat trick tonight. Let me crack a bevy here and tell you. Hat trick for Connor McDavid. 2 goals for Matt Savoy. And I think the way I put it on the live stream earlier as the game was winding down, as we were getting towards closing it out, it's real simple here. In a game like this, the Oilers aren't blameless. They had some mistakes. Things happened. Pucks went in the back of the net. The 3 stars, as I called, McDavid with 3 goals, Draisaitl with a goal and an assist, 3 assists. McDavid also had an assist, and Matt Savoy, the 3rd star, with 2 goals. Don't let Matty Savoy get hot. But I think in a game where, yes, the Oilers aren't blameless. Yes, there were problems throughout the game for the Oilers. The Kraken did, cycle around the zone. And it's easy to blow out of proportions what this 9-4 win could mean for the Oilers. is a 9-4 win leaves every single fan satisfied. That's what matters. Is despite there possibly being some mistakes, despite there, being some blame to be thrown around, despite having 4 goals against, you scored 9. I mean, take it in. We haven't done that in almost 18 months. Actually, it's been 19 months since we last did that. Sorry, it was April. So, something you haven't done in 19 months. You win against a team that was a point ahead of you in the standings. You win in regulation. And that's where my point would be. If I'm capping this one, whatever mistakes were made, the Oilers erased it and more. Connor McDavid, all the man that scored 60 goals in this one. I mean, Zach Hyman scoring a beautiful goal. There's nothing that you can't look at and say everything was good tonight. Even if you didn't like something, you can say everything was good tonight. So, yeah, it was fantastic. And I really would tell you, friends, for those of you that'll be either watching the highlights before tonight's postgame or watching them after as they become available via Sportsnet, it was just, for me personally, I'll tell you a little bit of a story here. I guess post-game edition, I know we're still live, but just personally, I live streamed the Carolina game, got out right before it got hairy. I got out kind of at the end of the first period, and then it got hairy, and the Oilers ultimately won. So 2-0 live streaming games this year, that I don't think's happened to start a year ever on the channel, so that's massively awesome. And really just, to sit down, skip dinner, and start a live stream instead, and watch the Oilers show up in force for really one of the only times this season, and dummy the Kraken the way they did is exactly what you want on a Thursday night. It's going to be a big weekend. I feel like it's kind of the stage of life I'm in at this point. Every weekend's a big weekend, but you get where I'm going. It's just fantastic to see the Oilers win 9-4. It's awesome to see Calvin Pickard even his record, right? 2-3-2 now is 3-3-2, 500 in the points department. It all starts coming together. It starts feeling better. Life is good. And the Oilers are again above 500, 12-11-5. They're at 29 points. They're only 3 more wins away from being solidly in the top 3 playoff conversation once more, creeping towards that wild card spot depending on how the other games go tonight. And the Oilers are not so far out of it they can't get back, and they're not consistent enough to start climbing up the standings. But as we said with the 4-0 win against Seattle, now you've built 3 straight good games, and that was the frustrating thing. I'll go back to Minnesota, is you played such a good game, you have to get a result. That's the thing. You can't afford to lose that game, and they did. And, of course, Wallstedt got a shutout and whatever other details you need to understand how terrible of a game that truly was for the Oilers, just from a fan perspective, not from an entertainment, not from a gameplay, not from any standpoint there, other than a fan perspective being like, man, that was great, and I'm still down bad because we didn't get a single point. Well, either way, doesn't matter. That was erased. The Oilers win 9-4 tonight. A fantastic effort against the Kraken. And like I said, it just comes down from a standpoint of the Oilers needed this. They got every bit the fashion they needed out of it. And you get 2 points. You leapfrog the Kraken in the standings. You keep climbing up the standings. And now we can kind of wash our hands a little bit here and say, hey, let's get Kraken. Yeah, I'm serious. That's as much of a joke as I'm serious. Mad dash to Christmas, December 9th, only a few days away. It's a deadline that Pierre LeBrun kind of put on things for the Oilers to start reassessing. Again, all they've done is tread water since LeBrun did that, and now we sit in this 5 days away mode where the Oilers have just won 9-4, and we see what it means. Pickard, good enough to win tonight, friends. It's been the nightcap here on Dolynny TV. Thank you for being aboard on the post-game edition. I'm going to start uploading this, and we're going to see in a few moments on the rewatch or for the first time here. So thank you for being aboard. Again, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to do that. And if you're still watching on the live stream, haven't left a like, make sure to do that. For right now, though, I am up on out of the post-game. Here, we'll continue on the stream in a moment. So there you go, friends. That is the end of the night. The Edmonton Oilers recap it. Well, a game in which they needed to win. And for the Oilers, power play goal from McDavid and Savoy, as well as Connor McDavid one more time and Draisaitl. So 4 total power play goals for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Fantastic to see from an Oilers fan perspective. You love and needed that very bad. And now we'll see if that continues on here. But friends, as I'm sure my internet's going to not like uploading and streaming at the same time, I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you so much again, Art, Cam, and sorry, I need to make sure I get this Chang. Thank you so much for being aboard here on the broadcast tonight. I'm going to catch you guys later. We'll do it again soon.